Yo, chat. Happy Friday, everybody. Looks like we got lots of people here. We got Emily here. We got Old Man Wiggum. We got Landmark. We got Matthew in the house. How's everyone doing? Are you doing all right? Enjoying this Friday? Happy Friday indeed. Hope everyone's doing all right. I'm hoping that this light doesn't fall on my head. I got a real janky setup here, but playing around with stuff on the stream for the stream. Got some podcast stuff. I saw Matthew sent me an article, which probably won't get to this week, but I'm gonna take a look at it, and maybe we'll add it to the docket next week. I read a little bit of it. I'm sure it probably is something that'll tick me off because everything does for the most part. We ready for some podcast stuff? We got Brian in the house here somewhere. Oh, there he is. There he is. What's your audio look like? Say something again. Oh wait. I didn't turn you on, so nobody can hear you. Nice. There, now they can hear you.
So I was just saying I'm off every Friday through the middle of June stretch because we have to use our vacation hours. Although after I spent an hour this week trying to figure out every single one of my days off, my employer came out and said, "Hey, we're gonna let you carry over vacation through like October something." And I'm like,
"Nice.
Well, thanks. You could have." Because we had a meeting with our HR person earlier in the week where our HR person was like, "Nope, not happening." So I was like, "All right, I got to plan my vacation." And then like 2 days later, they're like, "Just kidding."
That's funny. I'm gonna create a shortcut there. Yeah. So are you able to change what you did so that you can?
They said if like I want to retract days and stuff, I can.
Nice.
But I feel like, now that we're getting closer to seeing the end of the tunnel here with all the COVID stuff, I'm hoping that, taking some of these days off might mean something other than me like getting on my exercise bike and going to Costco, which is exactly what I did today. Which that's fine. Like I like doing those things. I like being able to sleep in until like 9, but
yeah.
It'll be nice to like go to my favorite brew pub and have a beer.
There you go.
See you and Old Man Wiggum, or a lot. There are only possibilities, Christopher.
That's true. Lots of possibilities. Well, you know what, Chad? I'm gonna talk about my lights. Tell me what you think. So we know we got the fancy one over here that I really like. So what I did is I added a third one behind me, and it's blue. So if you see, I got a little bit of blue, and it's supposed to kind of color the top of my head a little bit and make me stand out from the background. I think it works. The problem is that it's really janky. I need to tape it down or something. I'm afraid it's gonna fall on my head at some point. And it's just barely under, because I had it real tall, and right above me I've got a ceiling fan. So it would have gotten knocked out by the ceiling fan, so I had to lower it down a little bit. But I kind of like it. I mean, I got this blue dot on my head. I'm not sure how crazy I am about that. But
I was gonna say like one side of your head is blue, and like the other side of your head is just like that big, nice, bright, like.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be a little hint of the blue.
And then like in the back, you got that purple. Like you can see that purple light.
Yep.
Too. So I like your lighting setup. I feel like you definitely get to see more of you. Like you're very clear, even for the blind guy. Like the blind guy can see you. I can look at your facial expressions. I can see what you're trying to give the people. So I think I like that.
Nice. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I don't know that seeing me is what everybody wants, but if you're here, that's what you get. I'm sorry. It's just what it is.
And Old Man Wiggum threw a link in the chat for a brew pub, but Old Man Wiggum, that's not the only brew pub that I'm open to visiting. There's a new Good City location that's going in Wauwatosa, and the brewers from Explorium Brew Pub are actually going to be opening their own brew pub in this summer. So it's going to be the season of brew pubs apparently, which I'm okay with. I don't think my waistline is okay with that, so. I'm gonna have to negotiate that, but that's future Brian's problem and current Brian's problem. But no one cares about Brian's problems.
And you got to get that shot too, B. Got to get that shot.
I mean, I'm working on it. It's scheduled.
You're like halfway there, right?
I am halfway there. I did not have any significant symptoms from shot 1, so I'm feeling happy about that.
That's good. Yeah, I got to talk to my doctor on Tuesday, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get the shot soon. So,
yeah, I mean,
you know, the state opened it up to fat people at the end of the month, and I'm. I mean, this is probably gonna come as a surprise, chat, but I am a portly fellow. No, I'm way beyond portly. I'm fat as hell, so I definitely qualify. So we'll see if I can get in. But I figure, you know, with all my health issues I've been dealing with, maybe I can, you know, put a little bit of pressure on the doc. Maybe you can sneak me in early. We'll see.
I mean, Old Man Wiggum did give you a nice little tip, and
That's true.
I've also given you a little tip. But
the back alley COVID shot.
I mean, it's not even back alley. It's you got an arm, we gonna put something in it, and it's not gonna be it's gonna be the good thing that you want in your arm, not a bad thing.
Wait, Z-Dubs, A-Rod and J-Lo broke up. Well, now I'm really conflicted because I was gonna go after Kim Kardashian. Now I got J-Lo as an option too. Holy shit!
Mean, Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love already broke up. Come on now.
Wait, what?
That's the joke. That's the joke on Twitter. All the Packers fans are like, "We're talking about Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, right?"
Oh. Well, they never liked each other to begin with. Let's be honest. J-Lo is smoking hot. You ain't lying. All right, but enough of the you know, guys being guys thing. Let's start this podcast thing, right? Oh yeah, you sent me a joke I was supposed to use. What was it? Oh yeah.
Well, you're not. I know you like your jokes, but I thought that was a good one.
That is a good one. I don't know if I want to use that one. I hadn't, you know, I've been smoking cigars all day, and I should have been spending time thinking about what I wanted to intro this week. And also, Wiggs, I didn't miss your message. I miss hanging out with you too, as you know, at the brew pub.
Yeah.
Soon-ish.
They're expanding their patio.
Oh yeah.
10 feet more.
Nice. So I can be 10 feet further away from people.
I was gonna say, instead of being elbow to elbow to people, we'll be like arm length to arm length with people.
Yeah, well, you know, nobody there wears a fucking mask, so I won't be going there anytime soon.
I mean, you know, the staff do, but that's it.
Well, yeah, but they're not the ones I'm most concerned about. All right, we need an intro. You know, you know what? I think Z-Dubs has the intro. That's it. We're going with that. I'm gonna kill this music here. And done. I got my podcast sounds here.
Wrong.
That wasn't a podcast song, but I had to do it because it's funny. All right. It should be a podcast song. Or sound.
It is. We used it last week.
We probably should. I should probably add it to this other list here. All right. Are we ready to do this, B?
Oh, you know we're ready.
This is episode 30, right?
30. It's, right. You know, approximately 3 years older than you are now.
That's true. Give or take. Yeah. All right, let's do this. I got my music. Which one of these do I want to use? We're going to use that one. All right. I need to start everything. Get the backdrop set up. You know, I was going to get there, man. Calm down. Actually, I probably would have forgotten. All right, there it is. The screen thingy.
The screen thingy.
Yeah. Oh man, Wiggum's busting out. Oh, I gotta set up the topics yet. Shit, I didn't do that.
Old man Wiggum wants to see your screen thingy, or just your thingy.
I mean, topic text. All right. Let's see how that worked. It's super huge.
Boom.
Oh,
we have so many topics, they're not even going to all fit.
I know, it's insane.
Topics thing this week.
Topics text, we're going to have to shrink it down pretty small. There we go. There we go. I did do a quick read through, so I think I'm okay.
You can always cut some words from those to make them a little bigger too. Like
yeah, I would normally, but I don't want to spend time doing that right now.
Right.
Is Gonzi accepting interns? I will take unpaid interns. But considering I rallied against unpaid interns last week in the Extra Time episode, I guess I probably shouldn't do that.
Right.
All right.
All internships need to be paid, Sconzi.
That's right. We're going to start recording on the Zenny, and we're going to start recording on the OBS. And we're good to go, B. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Hello, and welcome to We Random, episode 30, recording on March 12th, 2021. Hey B, I just heard some crazy news. J Lo and A Rod are breaking up. I mean, I think I got to go find out where J Lo is because I'm a single guy and she's a single girl. You know. Anyway, we'll have more after this.
Almost Qualified Productions. Your dose of semi-coherent babbling.
Welcome to We Random, episode 30. I'm Brian. That's Christopher. Say hello to these people, Christopher.
Hello, these people.
I got a question for you. Do you think you have a better chance of getting to J-Lo or finally getting one of those NBA Top Shot packs?
I probably have a better chance of, not living through the night, I think. I don't know if that made sense. You ain't getting neither of those.
That's real morbid, man. Come on now. We're trying to be positive.
Neither of those things are going to happen, let's be honest. But, sometimes you just got to shoot your shot. You know what I mean?
Top shot. Anyway, so we're going to try to keep this positive today. I can't promise anything, though. But what we do have for you is we have a topic full of wheels. We've got a nice dozen topics for you today. And we're not going to get to all of them because we talk too much. But we're going to do our best to try to get to the ones that the wheel tells us to, and we'll give you our opinions on them. And if you've got opinions, you should let us know what your opinions on them, because there's nothing like a show where we all yell at each other and see who's yelling is loudest, right, Christopher?
Absolutely.
All right, so this is We Random. Do you have any thoughts for the people today?
I don't, but I'm still setting the wheel up. So maybe you have, like 2 minutes of thoughts for the people.
I do. So Old Man Wiggum in the chat has said a topic full of wheels. It is not surprising for me to invert those words. I don't know why I do it, but I feel like it happens sometimes. It's just one of the things that happens to me. I know that as a child, I always used to say orange for the color yellow, and it's something that dogged me almost into adulthood. So it happens. It's a thing. It's okay, Wiggum. We all have our deficiencies. Not all of us can have 90% of things. We don't all have a 10% discount, sir.
All right. I guess we can spin this wheel because I'm almost ready with it.
All right, we're spinning a wheel. What are we starting with?
Well, I gotta open it up first. There we go. Now we're spinning. And we're starting with MLB rule changes, B. What's the deal with rule changes?
Excellent. So this was actually one of the topics that I was very excited about. So MLB will continue their trend of using the minor leagues as a testing ground for experimental playing rules. MLB announced this week the 2021 slate of rules that will be implemented at various levels of the minor league system during the upcoming season. So, rule experiments include at the AAA level, the size of first, second, and third base will be increased from 15 inches to 18 inches. And then at the AA level, a limit on defensive shifts will be in place. The rule says that the defensive team must have a minimum of 4 players on the infield, each of whom must have both feet completely in front of the outer boundary of the infield dirt. MLB is going to evaluate this rule, and depending on how it plays, they may decide to then require 2 infielders be positioned on each side of second base in the second half of the season. Now, at the high A level, pitchers will be required to disengage the rubber prior to throwing to any base. And this is something that they hope to use to get more stolen base attempts and less pickoff throws. Speaking of less pickoff throws, there is a rule where all low A leagues will not allow more than 2 step offs or pickoffs per plate appearance with a runner on base. Now, the one that is really interesting is that in the low A level, the automated ball strike system will be used to assist umpires in calling balls and strikes.
Not even lawn.
Now, the other thing at the low A level is that there will be a pitch timer enforced, placing limits between delivery of pitches, inning breaks, and pitching changes. So MLB says they're going to monitor and analyze the impact of each rule throughout the season and they'll report to their team clubs for the effects and to determine a further analysis. Their goal with all of these rules is to increase action on the base paths, create more ball, improve the pace of play of games while reducing player injuries. So that's a really big mouthful of a lot of things that
Wrong.
MLB wants to do. But what are your thoughts here, Christopher?
This has nothing to do with pace of play. Like, this has to do with offense. It's 100% what this is. It's all about offense. They don't want you to be able to play defense. They don't want you to try to, keep people from stealing bases. Like, the step off rule makes sense to me because we've all seen that, that one at bat where, Billy Hamilton or whoever is on first base and the guy throws over to first base 73 times and it's fucking boring as hell. That is a pace of play move. And it's just boring. It's just stupid, right? So I get that. That makes sense. I don't hate that. The defensive positioning is dumb. Matthew said in the comments that MLB hates Craig Counsell, and I don't know that this is specifically an anti-Craig Counsell move, but he is absolutely part of what they were thinking when they're putting this into play, right? Is, the Brewers use the shift a lot. I don't know if they use it more than every other team, but they certainly use it a lot. And one of the things, and we'll talk about the Brewers a little bit later, but one of the things I love about Craig Counsell is the way he thinks so much outside of the box and doesn't, have himself pinned in to the normal, quote unquote, normal rules of baseball that people have. And I think it's a great thing. I think and this gets to the crux of my biggest issue with a lot of these changes is the Brewers cannot compete man to man against the Dodgers and the Cardinals and the Cubs probably, and the Yankees and all these teams that just spend hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Billions of dollars, whatever they're spending. Like, the Brewers can't compete dollar for dollar with these guys. They just can't. They don't have the money to spend. So what they do is they are very, very careful in how they're using their money. They're very, very meticulous in the players they're bringing in. Like, I've been very vocal about the fact they signed fucking nobody this offseason, right? It's garbage. I hate it. But looking at things realistically, like, what they're doing is and I think I mentioned this last week. When people look at teams, generally what they look at is who are those 8 or 9 players that are starting? Who are those guys? Do we have the strongest and best 8 players plus a pitcher or two, right? That's what they look at. And what Counsell does that I really love is he looks at that, 26 man roster. He looks at the entire thing and says, I want to be able to put the best product on the field each and every single day. And that doesn't mean that you have Christian Yelich starting 162 games. It might mean that Yelich is starting 140 games. And yeah, he's clearly the best player in the team, but you want to pick and choose and put people in, and he moves things around. He's like a mad scientist back there, which I think is fantastic. And those are the things you have to do to be able to win when the deck is really stacked against you the way it is with Milwaukee. So the fact, this defensive positioning thing, I really don't like it. I think that it's just trying to tilt the field even stronger towards these big money teams that don't have to do some of those quirky little things to try to be successful. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't do it, but they don't need to as much, right? Because they can line up an all-star team out there and then just hit a bunch of home runs, or, everybody's hitting 350 for the year, whatever it is. They don't need to do some of those quirky little things that teams like the Brewers need to do. So I think that this is really a slap in the face in a lot of the small market teams who are trying to put some things together to be successful. And it's just pumping money back into the fucking pockets of these big wigs that at least I don't give a shit about. I think a lot of people probably don't give a shit about.
I mean, I think that's an interesting perspective. I hadn't even thought about it from that lens. I was looking at a couple different issues. One thing I wanted to touch on, Emily in the chat asks, can an extra 3 inches make an impact? Well, with the way that
MLB, we're talking about the baseball thing.
That's what I'm getting to, Christopher.
Oh, okay.
So the way that MLB proposes this is there are a lot of collisions at first base, and there are oftentimes collisions at second on double plays and things like that. So by adding that extra space, you're hoping that the first baseman can be a little bit more into the field of play. The second baseman or the shortstop can use the bag as basically a guard for themselves. So I think that's what they're hoping to do with it, number one. And number two, they're hoping to incentivize more people to steal bases. And incrementally, we've seen how many of these plays go to replay. And I feel like, honestly, replay is one of the biggest shams of their whole system. And we could do an entire podcast about how replay is a sham. But we've seen so many of these, like, oh, stolen base plays where, like, this guy, like, his fingertips, like, barely come off the base, and then they tag him and, like, oh, he's out. So then if the base is a little bit bigger, do his fingers come off the base? Maybe they do, maybe they don't, etc. Or like the Scooter Jeanette rule where it's like, oh, he missed the base. He didn't actually touch it. So if the base is a little bit bigger, does he actually touch the base? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I think that's where we're going. Now, I do want to chat on Matthew's point about how MLB is using the minors to test these rules. Now, the thing that's interesting to me about that is I feel like that in itself is going to set up a system of some inequity. So, for example, we're really rigging the minor leagues at this point for hitting. And some of these leagues are already rigged for hitting if you look at park factors and numbers and all of the stat stuff, right? But if you can't do the shift, there's going to be a guy who comes through the minor leagues and he's just going to rake because they can't shift against him. But then he gets to the big leagues and, the Brewers are shifting against him and he's going to go 1 for 45 and then they're going to send him right back down, right? So it's kind of one of these things where unless this is a change across all of the levels, it's going to set up a strange system. I think it's interesting. Now, the thing out of all of these changes that I love is the automated balls and strike system. I know that balls and strikes is like it's part of the game and stuff like that, but we need to get these assholes out of here like Angel Hernandez and these other dudes like Jim West and all these guys who like they'll call the strike zone one way all game and then they'll just be like, oh, I'm gonna call it the other way. Chris Guccione is another one. Like half of these MLB umpires, there's a reason that there's a tag on Twitter called the Ump Show because these guys think that people come to see them. I don't come to see you do a shitty ass job. If I want to see people do a shitty ass job, I'm going to look to our nation's capital and look at our politicians. I don't need to see you do it on the baseball field, Christopher. What are your thoughts on the automated baseball, kind of the balls and strikes system?
Yeah, so there's a couple different things I want to touch on. So, first of all, I think the 1 for 45 guy would probably get traded to the Brewers because I think that's the kind of guy that we're trying to load up the team with. So we'll make sure that we pick that guy up. Second, Matthew also mentioned, we're testing it in the minor leagues where people are trying to get to the big leagues, which I think is a good point. And I think that, we're screwing with people who are in the middle of, moving up. I think there's going to be some inequities there. And you mentioned some of that too, Brian, where, someone may be coming up through the minor leagues where they're not dealing with a shift and then they get to the big leagues where they are dealing with a shift. My guess is that this isn't a situation where they're going to test it for 3 years in the minors and then bring it to the big leagues or scrap it. I think what this most likely is, and I'm sure there's some testing that they're doing and really observing and seeing what the impact is. I think this is more likely that this is let's roll this out here and get people used to it before we implement it in the big leagues. I think I get the feeling it's more of that. Like they did some of that last year with COVID, just because everything was so fucking weird. They did the whole everybody has a DH thing. They've been wanting to do that for years. And I think they just threw it out there because things are so weird that people aren't going to flip their shit over it right now. And I feel like this is kind of the same thing. As far as robot umps, I agree. I mean, I'm old. I'm older than the 27 years old we talked about earlier. I love the game within the game. Many years ago, I loved the shit out of Pedro Martinez, right? Because he would throw up and high at people, and people would flip the fuck out and throw shit at him, and they hated him. But that's kind of game within the game, Greg Maddux would get that call 2 inches off the plate because he couldn't be more accurate if he walked up there and placed it in the catcher's mitt, right? He would hit everything. And so they would give him a little bit, And as a Greg Maddux fan, I love that, right? So I love that game within the game. I love that piece of it. I love that, you may have a guy who's calling the outside strike and you need to do something about that. The problem is, as you mentioned, is we see way too often that this shit isn't consistent, and the reason it's not consistent is because it's a human. We're flawed. We're not going to be 100% infallible. So I think putting that back there makes a hell of a lot of sense. I think that It's gonna make things more consistent, which is good. And you know what? If they really wanted to have fun, maybe they just work in a randomizer there. And every other game, it's calling that outside strike. I don't know, but I think it's a good thing. Honestly, I think just leave the umps there to to call outs or whatever they need to do. But let's put the robot umps in there to call balls and strikes. I'm 100% there.
Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see how this goes, but I definitely am on team shift because if we think about it, like obviously that is part of the game within the game. And if they're like, "Oh, we're going to try to shorten games," having lots of runners on base does not
Right.
shorten a game. Like what about having dudes trying to steal bases and then, "Oh, we got to do another replay and we
Yeah.
got to go look at the cameras," and then New York is going to take a minute and a half to decide that they can't figure out if this guy is safe or out because the shortstop ran in front of the camera, right? Like,
Yeah.
how many times did we see that when we were going to the ballpark or
Mm-hmm.
watching this stuff on TV?
Yeah, and again, when I look at this list of stuff, it doesn't scream pace of play to me. It really screams offense, right? They want more
Right.
offense, they want more points or more runs because that's what the casual fan is really into. Like the casual fan, isn't going to sit there and watch a 1-0 game that is super tense for the entire game to the end, right? They're going to check out. They don't really like that. So baseball wants to pull in those casual fans and they want to see that 12-9 game where, the guy hits the 3-run home run in the bottom of the ninth to win it. And that's just what they're trying to attract. So I'm not a fan of that. I do think the shift is great. I think to Old Man Wiggum's point, make the hitters hit. If you can't fucking hit a ground ball to left field, into left field through the left side of the infield, then why the fuck wouldn't you? Like when I played softball, you know what you would do is you would shift every single time someone came up, right? Like every time that I was at the plate, you know what I do? I hit it to right field. Why would I hit it to right field? Because the worst fucking fielder on the entire team is in right field. So every single time you put it in right field, you get a double at least. Like every single time. That's just how it works. If you want to stop me, you know what you do? Don't put fucking the dumbest and worst players you got in right field. It's that simple. So I agree with you. I think the shift is there to force people to actually be a better rounded hitter. And if you can't beat that, well, then sorry. Like, I got nothing more for you.
Right. And I think that there's a lot of things going on with pitchers too, because if we're looking at the pitcher perspective, and I know we've gone a little long on this topic, so we probably should start moving on, but I do want to talk about pitchers because you look at pitchers like, your Josh Haders and some of these other guys who throw hard, they don't need the benefit of the shift. But if you look at a Brent Suter, a Zach
Mm-hmm.
Davies, some of these guys who are barely touching 87, they need the shift because maybe these guys can dot a corner or they can throw, down and away or up and in or whatever, and they can try to jam guys in the, with a pitch. And then that shift is going to help them out because if they jam a guy, he's going to maybe hit the ball hard. But if he hits it right into the shift, it doesn't matter that he hit the ball hard. But if these guys don't have the benefit of the shift and then they're throwing meatballs down the middle of the plate at 87, that's not going to go well for them. This was something interesting. And again, side note, we random. This is what I do. I was looking at a Twitter exchange between Kyle Loesch and Chris Narveson, both former Brewers, and they were kind of railing on some catcher when there was a video of a guy who hit like a long spring training home run, and they're like, dude, what is that catcher doing? And he's like not even putting up a location or a sign, and Narveson's like, I once had a catcher tell me, I'm just going to line up middle. And Narveson's like, dude, you realize I don't throw hard, right? So like, that's kind of the whole thing here. It's like, you're setting up these pitchers who don't throw hard for an even tougher time to succeed either in the minors or in the majors.
Yeah, I agree. And just from a very personal standpoint, I think what they're kind of leaning towards is taking a lot of the analytics and a lot of the strategy out of the game. I think that they're trying to make it a little bit more vanilla. And me personally, I think this is, and I know some of you are NBA fans and you're going to harp on me. That's fine. But like when I watch an NBA game, yeah, every now and then you see that set play, but there's a whole lot of just give Giannis the ball. He's going to dribble between his legs once or twice. He's going to run around a guy and he's going to dunk the ball. That's the whole fucking game plan, right? That's just all you do. But and I think that's part of the reason why I don't like the NBA that much. And I love the NFL so much, right? Because everything is planned out and orchestrated. You know, there's so much strategy that goes into everything. And I feel like baseball is taking that step away from the strategy part of it, and you know, they're losing part of that, and I'm not a big fan of that.
I mean, obviously they don't want to go back to the avocado ice cream days, so they got to try something, right?
I guess so.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to spin the wheel. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. That was a fun topic, though. I'm glad we talked
That
about
was
it.
a fun topic.
And Jeff, if you're listening, I didn't say anything bad about Javi Baez there. Just so you know. Well, B, I think we're already it's already time for the Wee Random Dick of the Week.
It is. So,
Speaking of the NBA.
Yeah, speaking of the NBA, Myers Leonard, Miami Heat player, has been fined $50,000 and suspended from team activities for a week after using an anti-Semitic slur in a Twitch stream this week. Leonard dropped the slur in a Monday game of Call of Duty to insult an opponent in the game. Leonard later posted he was sorry and said he had not known what the word meant when he used it. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver says the $50,000 fine is the maximum amount that a player can be fined for this type of act. Now, here's the kicker. The suspension does not include loss of pay for games missed.
Oh, nice.
Leonard is currently injured, so because he's injured, he will still be compensated for all 5 games the Heat play during his suspension. If he had been healthy, he would have faced forfeiting $324,000.
Makes no goddamn sense.
So, would you like to talk about, as you called him on, well, you didn't call him this, but I feel like he fits into this category, the white boys who can't control their temper while playing games and streaming?
Right, exactly. Dude, this hits on so many pet peeves of mine. Like, and you know what? We're doing this live on Twitch, right? I stream on Twitch, and you know what? We play games, and sometimes I get angry too. I've never called anybody that word or this word or whatever, right? But yeah, it disgusts me that that people get themselves in this position, right? This guy notwithstanding, like, we're not even talking about him, but you see so much of it. What was it, last week? Or maybe it was in our extra time episode where we talked about this fucking kid who lost $2.70 in a fucking Fortnite match, and he punched his monitor and broke it. Like, what the fuck, people? Like, this is insane. And this just adds on to the horrible, toxic environment that is a lot of video gaming. It's not all of it, right? Like, we've got someone in stream right here who is one of the best and streamers that I know and people I know, and he's very calm and level-headed, and like, it's perfectly possible to do that. It's 100% possible, but that's not where we're at. Like, people are just so angry and irritated and toxic. It's fucking horrible. I mean, it's just fucking horrible. And then you got this guy, and the one thing that, if you haven't seen this clip, we're not going to play it on this stream, but it might be worth going and looking at, just because of the way that this came out, because the guy paused, like he's in the middle of his tirade, and he pauses for like a second, almost as if he's thinking about what he wants to say, and then he comes out with this insult. Now, I am 100% guessing here, but my gut tells me that he may have wanted to go for a different word, a different slur, for a different group of people, especially those with a darker complexion, if you get my drift. That's what I feel like he was leaning towards. Totally guess. I don't know for sure. But I kind of get the feeling like he paused, said, oh, wait, I can't say that word. I'm going to say this one instead. Well, that's not an okay word either. What the fuck are you doing, dude? And then here's the icing on the cake. Like I already mentioned 2 minutes ago, I don't follow the NBA. I don't really care about the NBA that much. I used to really love the NBA because I was a huge David Robinson and Tim Duncan fan, so I really followed the Spurs. So this is completely an aside. This is the wee random portion, right? So apparently the Spurs are parting ways with LaMarcus Aldridge, and the first team that comes up on who they may trade him to, the Miami Heat. And who might be coming back to the Spurs? This fucking piece of shit. So anyway, I just throw that in for a little bit of extra flavor. What are your thoughts, B?
Well, it was amusing because the Utah Jazz were apparently like all in on like trading for him, and then I'm sure the Jazz front office, as soon as they heard about this, were like, nope, nope, nope. Somebody get on the phone. Cancel that. Cancel that. Cancel that. But seriously, so I am in line with your thought because he paused. He was in mid tirade. He stopped. And in his mind, we don't know what was going on in his mind, but my
Right.
guess is he thought, okay, I can't say this word. I can't say the word that's a derogatory slur towards the LGBTQ community. What can I say that still shows my disdain for this person, but doesn't make me look like a bad person? Yet he chose a word.
Yeah.
Whether he says, oh, I didn't know the true meaning behind that word, he knew that the word was intended to hurt someone,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the problem is that he was intending to hurt someone or insult someone or defame someone. The word choice makes it worse, but the fact that the intent was there is a lot of the problem, right? Like that's part of the challenge here is that he can say, oh, well, I didn't know that it was something that was offensive to this particular community, but he knew that it was an offensive word or he wouldn't have used it in the context that he did. It's not
Right.
like I'm going to go, you stupid salad, right? Like you're
Right.
not going to like
Yeah.
use the word salad or like, hot dog or whatever to like defame someone.
Yeah. No, I agree. He definitely knew there was a negative connotation to it, and you know, I, I don't know what to say about this guy. You know, it's clearly if you can't handle yourself, like first of all, maybe just don't live stream yourself playing video games. Maybe don't have yourself on mic. You know what doing this. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do besides just calming yourself down, right? Like I went through this myself, right? There's like we on the stream here, we play a ton of Apex Legends, and I get frustrated and I get angry. And there was a time, you know, a month or two ago where it was really like I would feel the pressure in my chest and the anger coming out my, steam out my fucking ears. And I had to say, dude, you need to calm the fuck down, right? It's not that big of a deal. So you got, shot in the back. Okay, fine. Move on, right? You can do that. It's not that difficult to do, but you have to be cognizant of it and you have to want to change. And hopefully this is a wake up call for this guy, whoever the hell he is, that that he can, get his shit together. I don't know. But I will say that if you want to have a laugh, that this isn't a very positive approach, but go look for the Michael Rappaport video that he made in response to this, because that shit's funny.
I mean, yeah, it's funny, but it's kind of that whole like hate can't drive out hate, only love can, like that whole thing. But I think it's just interesting. Like he's got a long way to go, and hopefully he gets there. But this definitely did not go well for him. It
Yep.
did not age well.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on from this guy because I don't give two shits about him, and I'm going to talk about something else.
I mean, it's not like we're going to get anything more positive, but we can try.
We need to work on that. We need this is me calling both of us out. We need more positive stuff.
I mean, the MLB rule changes were positive. We felt good about talking about that.
That's true. We did talk about some of those. Nobody knows who this player was before, so we have already spent too much time on him. Agreed. So let's.
I knew who he was because he would just like light up the Bucks every time they'd play the Bucks.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to something more not less Let's move on to something else. Let's talk about Burger King. Tell me about Burger King. Burger King is a wonderful company, and they have Whoppers, which are delicious. Tell me about Burger King.
So Burger King intended to turn a sexist trope on its head through a new campaign supporting female chefs, but the reaction to the brand's provocative campaign for International Women's Day has been mixed, to say the least. So first, there was a New York Times print ad headlined, "Women Belong in the Kitchen." Burger King announced in that ad the launch of its Helping Equalize Restaurants scholarship, which offers financial assistance to women who work at Burger King and aspire to an academic degree in culinary arts. Because this was a print ad, people had the full context right away, so there wasn't as much kind of hubbub about the print ad. But the same campaign was printed as a series of tweets via the Burger King UK Twitter account, where the full context was not quite as obvious. Given that Twitter makes it easy to share tweets, but not necessarily share full threads with additional clarification, the UK tweet quickly drew attention and backlash across the globe. Fernando Machado, global CMO for Burger King Company restaurant brands, defended the intent of the campaign throughout the day, but acknowledged that sharing a tweet that just said women belong in the kitchen without immediate context was a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that. I'm pulling the
So,
thread up here on the stream, so if you're watching, you can kind of see the way that the thread went. But yeah, that probably wasn't the best approach.
yeah, and I also saw a picture of the print ad. So the print ad had like the women belong in the kitchen in like a really big font, but then there was like all the text right below it. So like
Hmm.
you could immediately read that like, hey, this is what we're doing. But here, like people don't really get the threaded tweet unless you're actually like following Burger King UK.
Right. Yeah, you just see women belong in the kitchen. And you go, what the fuck? Now, when you click into it, and you maybe not everybody is on Twitter a lot. When you click into it, you would see the rest of the thread, but a lot of people aren't necessarily going to do that, right? All they're going to see is women belong in the kitchen, and whether you click into it or not, this if all you see is this top part here, that's a pretty ugly fucking message, right? I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to be edgy, trying to get attention, they're trying to get people's eyes on this, and then they're talking about something that's really good, right? They're launching a scholarship program, which is freaking amazing, trying to get some of their female women employees to chase some of their dreams. That's an amazing thing to do. That's excellent. Kudos to them for doing that. But the way that they tried to advertise this, really a bad idea. And to Emily's point, on International Women's Day on top of it. So it definitely was. But let's be honest, right? So a lot of the stuff that blows up on Twitter is stuff that is edgy and it's weird. And so I can understand why somebody thought this was a good idea. I get that, like they're trying to draw attention to it, which is good. Um, but this isn't the way to do that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things where, like you said, they were trying to be edgy, and there's a way that they could have spun this. They could have started with some of these facts, like, or they could be like, we want women to feel comfortable in our kitchen, or like
Mm-hmm.
something that's a little bit more inclusive, as opposed to going to that old trope. And they're like, we want to smash the trope, but then people aren't actually looking past it to see the intent of what is actually there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, kudos to them for what they're doing and lifting up the employees there. We've heard a lot here in our country about raising the minimum wage, and I think a lot of people think immediately of fast food people for that. We know a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of young people that start off in fast food, but some people are that's a career for them. So the fact that they are setting up a scholarship program to help these individuals chase a dream that they may have, that is fucking amazing. But you did a dumb thing trying to advertise it. So
Yep.
they rightfully got slapped around for it, and they went in and they removed it, and they're contrite and all of that. So hopefully they actually learn from that and do better next time.
Yep. Got to live and you learn.
Yep. All right, we're done with Burger King. Let's go to McDonald's. Do we have McDonald's on here? Probably not.
No. I mean,
No,
we've
but
got Disney Plus. You can watch some Disney Plus.
Let's go to Nevada and hang out with some people who are quitters, apparently.
Oh, so this is an interesting one.
This is something.
So on March 6th, a coalition of progressive candidates backed by the local chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America took over the leadership of the Nevada Democratic Party, sweeping all 5 party leadership positions in the March 6th election. Not long after Judith Whitmer, one of the individuals who was elected, who had been the Clark County Democratic Party chair, won an election, she received an email from the party's executive director, Alana Mounts. The message was beginning with a note of congratulations before getting to the point. She was quitting. So was every other employee. And so were the consultants. And the staff would be taking severance checks with them.
Of
So
course.
it sounds like the battle between the progressive wing of the party and what's known in Nevada as the Reid Machine, a tightly run operation guided by former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, began years ago when Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders organized support for his 2016 presidential primary run. So, over the next years, outside organizations like the Democratic Socialist exploded in size and strength. The Sanders campaign was focused on organizing young Latino voters in the state with the goal of activating people who the party had long ignored before. And it worked. In the 2020 cycle, after investing heavily in Nevada, Sanders won the Nevada caucus. So the Reid machine, though, saw this as a change in power that is coming down the line, and they moved $450,000 out of the party's coffers and into the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee's account. This committee will put that money towards the 2022 reelection of Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, a vulnerable first term Democrat. So basically, what's going on here is that the kind of progressive left has been running all of these candidates as what they called the Nevada Dems progressive slate. And they were running against the General Democratic Party, where they called themselves the Progressive Unity Slate, playing on a theme they'd been pushing the entire cycle. The groups that are angling for change from the left were trying to divide the party, while the Progressive Unity Slate was trying to save it. Where have we heard that before, Christopher? I feel like we've heard that before. Am I crazy that we've heard something like that?
I don't know. We might have heard something about that.
Anyway, the mass exodus of party staff, despite the unity rhetoric, wasn't a shock to Whitmer. She says, "We weren't really surprised in that we were prepared for it. But what hit us by surprise and what was sort of shocking is that for a slate that claimed they were all about unity and kept this false narrative of division going throughout the entire campaign, they kept intensifying it. That's what was surprising, that their willingness was to walk away instead of working with us." So I wanted to include this because I feel like we've done a lot of chat about what Republicans do and things like that, but it looks like these Democrats are kind of pulling some shenanigans here. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I read through this kind of high level, and I'm trying to piece it all together because there's a shit ton of different names into here, and I don't track names very well at all. So, but my understanding of this is we've got a group of progressive left, say progressive Democrats, who are pushing an agenda that's more progressive, and then you've got the more standard. I'm not sure what the term is that I'm looking for, but like the established Democratic left, which is kind of leftish, and they're kind of splitting apart, right? And the progressive left is making big inroads. They got a bunch of people elected into different things, and because of that, the more established left is just like, fuck it, we quit then. Did I sum that up right?
You did.
Yeah, so this is a pretty good example of why the Democrats will never win. Like this is why they're always going to kind of be at the whim of the Republicans in my mind. Now, yes, they can occasionally pull out a win here and there, as we saw, at the presidential election and even in the House and the Senate a little bit. I mean, you could argue that when the fact that we're just moving off from ass face, the fact that we've only got that small of a majority in those houses, or in the House and the Senate, that's a problem, right? I think that speaks to this type of thing where they're just kind of pulling each other apart. And there's just all this infighting and there's all this political bullshit going on behind the scenes. And that's the problem, right? Because and I've said this 100 times in this podcast before, what the right does is they win. Regardless of what kind of assholes they are, they win. They come together to win. That's what they do. And then they're like, we can figure out the rest of it later, but let's just fucking win. And the Democrats are just stupid. Like I understand wanting to stand behind your morals and your beliefs and you want to push for that. I get that. I'm 100% there. I'm the same way. But there's no coming, they're ripping themselves apart now. And just as there was talk, and I don't know that it's ever going to happen, but there was talk of the Republicans splitting apart with the Trump people and the not Trump people. Now we're actually seeing a splitting up of the Democratic peoples in Nevada. Excuse me. And I don't know what this is going to turn into. I don't know if it's going to turn into something bigger or not bigger, but this is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree because when you're working together, that's in theory when you're at your strongest, right? And it's just kind of that slap in the face that like these folks that are more like midline left are like, hey, we need to bring things together and we need to work together. And then they lose and they're like, nope, we're taking our ball and we're going home. And we're taking $450,000 of the money with us. So good luck. have fun. We're going to try to get this person that we know is with us elected for their next term. But it's like, this is a problem because this is one of those things where basically people are going to end up having to choose sides. Like, do you align with the more progressive left or do you align with the regular left, as to where the Republicans are just like, well, I might not like these 17 things about what this person says, but I'm still going to vote Republican because that's what makes us a team. It's kind of that, like, that's what it comes down to. Like you said, it's the difference between winning and trying to get everything that you want.
Yeah, I know. I agree completely. I think this is what this is it's starting to splinter the base, right? At least in Nevada, there's some splintering there. And you need to bring everybody together if you want to continue to push the agenda of the left. And obviously there's probably a little bit of a difference as to what they think the agenda is. But I'm pretty sure that whatever your differences are, they're a hell of a lot smaller than differences between the two of you and the right. So you need to, get your shit together, stop being a fucking whiny ass and, do what's right for the people, for your state, for the country. I don't think that's going to happen, but, it's just my 2 cents. What do I know?
Right. I agree. That's your prime opportunity to push those people to consider views of people that are not represented by their views. But nope, you just quit. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, let's talk about a different topic, maybe? Question mark, possibly?
Oh, yeah. It's already spinning, my dude. Brewers. Are we talking about beer or are we talking about that team that's got 17 people who are going to hit $1.20 this year?
I mean, they might hit $1.20, but they are a team to pay attention to, Christopher.
Oh, are they now?
They are. Mike Petriello from MLB.com picked 3 under-the-radar teams to pay attention to in 2021, and your Milwaukee Brewers made the list.
Wow. So, who is this guy? Does he even know what he's talking about? Does he even know what the Milwaukee Brewers are? Is he thinking about like someone else? Is he thinking about the Bucks maybe?
I don't know. But he does write that in the NL Central, people seem to be stunned that the Cardinals, who acquired Nolan Arenado, are not viewed as the runaway favorites. In fact, he's shocked that people are insulted that they are considered to be barely better, if at all, than the Brewers, who had a quiet winter. Petriello says that the Brewers are, quote, interesting. He says, okay, not on offense, perhaps, although they do have Christian Yelich. He does say on defense they are interesting because Lorenzo Cain is back. They have Colton Wong gobbling up baseballs at second base, and they added an elite defensive outfielder in Jackie Bradley Jr. He says their fielding could be spectacular, and that's a big deal for the pitching, which currently is projected to be the 7th best in baseball.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, well, he asked the questions. Do you think about them that way? Do you think about them that way, Christopher?
Fuck no. I think they're a team of guys who are going to hit $1.20.
So what he talks about with the Brewers, Josh Hader has been one of baseball's elite arms for a few seasons.
Gives up home runs.
Corbin Burns' 2020 breakout seems to be the result of some pitch usage changes and not a small sample fluke. The same could be said for Devin Williams. And he also brings up the fact that they have Freddie Peralta as a swingman, and they've also bolstered their pitching staff with individuals like Josh Lindblom and Brett Anderson. Plus, he says, is there any better manager in the game at handling a pitching staff than Craig Counsell?
Hey, I remember the Jeremy Jeffress thing, just saying we would have been in the World Series. Go on.
He says, while the Brewers may not hit enough because their lineup is dreadfully thin, in a weak Central, their arms are fascinating where it might get them back to the playoffs. Do you feel like this team's pitching can carry them, or what do you see other than thinking that the team is going to all hit $1.12?
Well, I think Jeremy Jeffress just got released, so as long as we don't sign that fucking guy back, then we might be okay. No, overall, I do like to make up this team. I like to play the angry, pissed off fan. But I do like the overall makeup of the team. And again, this goes back to what I said earlier, right? Like if you look at the starting lineup for this team and you compare it with the Cubs or the Cardinals or the Dodgers or anybody, we get the shit blown out of us, right? It's not even close. But that's not the way Counsell looks at this team. He doesn't look at the starting lineup. He looks at the 25, 26, 28, however many players there are, right? He looks at that whole thing. And the thing that Counsell does, and I don't know that he's super successful with it, but he's got some success with it, is we're not going to have, you know, 8 people who are going to hit 300. We might have 2 or 3 guys that might hit 300. Maybe 1, maybe 2. But what we do have is we have a bunch of other guys who have the ability to get hits, and whether that's because they're really good against lefties versus righties, or they're really good on day games after a night game, or whatever it is, right? There's those things that they look for, and they don't even look at the top, at that 26 or whatever people, because they move people back and forth to AAA all the damn time, right? So Craig Counsell works with like a 50-man team, and he's always looking for who is that individual today? Who is the guy today that's going to get that hit that we need? That's what he looks at, which I think is a brilliant way of doing it, because again, the Brewers can't afford to, you know, put an all-star at every position like what some of these teams can do. So does he hit it 100%? You know, does he hit that nail on the head 100% of the time? No, absolutely not. But he does a pretty damn good job of it, right? Jeremy Jeffress notwithstanding. So it's a very interesting way to approach it. I think it's really the only way the Brewers can really be successful, right? Because they can't dump all that money in that other teams can do. I do really like the pitching staff that we have. I think there's a lot of great stuff we've got in the bullpen. And nobody, you know, again, I like to harp on the Jeremy Jeffress thing, because we should have been in the fucking World Series, man. But Counsell runs his bullpen better than anybody. Like, hands down, he's better than any manager at running the bullpen. So, you know, this is a team that could be a very, very good team. They could also win 60 games. Let's be honest. I mean, they could just crash and fucking burn, but they could be really good. It's going to be a very interesting season.
Yeah, I mean, I can no longer stand the Jeremy Jeffress slander. That man gave his entire arm for that season, and his
we
arm
should have been in the fucking World Series. I don't care what you can't take anymore. Fuck that. That fucking guy shouldn't have been pitching. And it's more on Counsell than it is on him, but fuck that guy. We should have been in the World Series.
So we're going to have this out now, because I'm still mad about 2011 when they threw Sean Markham out there, and everybody knew Sean Markham's arm was dead because Sean Markham had been giving up runs for a month and a half. This guy, his arm was dead. Jeffress's arm was dead too. But the key is we didn't have anybody other than Jeffress. Everybody else in that bullpen, you know, we had used all of our bullets at that point. So it's Jeffress or, you know, some other guy who's going to come in and get his teeth kicked in.
Okay,
with Sean Markham.
So here we go. We got an option. We've got the guy that we know is going to get bombed, or somebody that we don't know is going to get bombed. That's an easy choice for me. I'm just saying, fucking, they could have put Hernan Perez out there and let him fucking pitch, as far as I'm concerned.
So what you're saying is that both in 2011 and 2018, we put the guy out there who got his teeth kicked in.
Yeah, sure. Fucking 2011 was 10 years ago. I don't give a shit about that.
So, but yeah, I mean, back to the point of their pitching staff. I think they've got a lot of interesting guys there. Like, they're really playing this up, because they're even taking a long look at Aaron Ashby and some of their other prospects too. So I think they're going to do that train where they've got, you know, 15 to 18 guys that they're going to rotate through all year. And, you know, some of them aren't going to be great, but they're going to try to just fill innings and figure it out and all of that. So it'll be real interesting. And I think if they can get some consistent hitting or some really good consistent defense, they could scratch out some of these games as, you know, 3-2s, 4-3s, like some of that. So it's just going to be for them to really be consistent in playing good baseball.
Yeah, for sure. Because let's be honest, they're not going to go out there and put up 7 runs a game, right? They're going to put up a lot of 2-run games, 3-run games, right? Like, they're going to have those games where they're very low scoring, where they're very, very tight scoring. And those are the games where pitching and defense makes a shit ton of difference, right? Like, I looked at that Jackie Bradley signing and thought, why are we signing this guy as a 4th outfielder? But, you know, I think we talked about this earlier, maybe, right? Like, Yelich isn't going to start 160 games. You know, play him 130 or 140 games and then switch guys in and out, right? And that's going to keep people healthier longer too, right? It goes back to when I actually did watch the Spurs, and you would see Tim Duncan play like 30 regular season fucking games. Like, what are you doing? He's one of the best players in the league. Sure he is. But I also know we're going to make the playoffs, and, you know, I'd like him to be fresh then. Now, we don't know that we're going to make the playoffs, but when it comes to, you know, September, wouldn't you like Christian Yelich to have 20 games less on his legs? I think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think that's kind of been the flaw with the pitching because that's where some of the pitching has worn down as the season has gone on. So I think that'll be
Yeah.
the interesting part to see how they keep that pitching staff fresh.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting year. I really think it could go to either one of those extremes. And sure, they could end up in the middle there, but I think this is a team that has just as much of a chance to win 95 games as they do to win 60 games.
I feel like you and Z-Dubs need to make a bourbon bet on the Brewers season where it's like if they win over X number of games, you owe Z-Dubs the bottle. If they, win less than that, he owes you the bottle.
We might
Because
have to do
Z-Dubs
that.
has come out as a very strong proponent that they're going to win 90 plus.
That's true. Tell you what, I think he said 95, didn't he? Didn't he say 95?
I think he did. Yeah.
I mean, if they win 95, I'll buy you a bottle. If they don't win 95, you buy me a bottle. I think that's a good bet. I think we could do that. Let's move on.
So we're at about 50 here. Do we want to go on another topic? What are your thoughts?
Let me see what's left on the list. Let me see if there's anything that I want to throw my flag in.
I know what you want to throw your flag on here.
Actually, I thought wasn't there one that I specifically sent you that I said we should talk about.
Yeah, it's the cancel culture topic.
Let's talk about that. Let's throw the flag on that.
All right. So we are going to talk about everyone's favorite thing, cancel culture. But we've talked a lot about cancel culture recently, from friend of the show, Marjorie Taylor Greene, to Morgan Wallen, to Dr. Seuss. This week, we want to take a different look at cancel culture. An article posted by AJ Willingham at CNN argues that cancel culture as it's understood today isn't real. Willingham says that not only do people and things allegedly canceled by cancel culture often prevail in the end, but the whole concept is a smokescreen to distract from actual systemic forces of oppression and suppression. Willingham writes that the philosophy that anyone can be pursued for speaking their mind, that people are too sensitive, and that the slightest offense can be fatal, is just a repackaged extension of the decade-long culture wars and the political correctness dialogue popular in the 1990s. It's also a remix of the First Amendment and censorship arguments, which often vastly misinterpret the constitutional and legal bounds of both terms. For example, conservatives have long alleged that censorship of like-minded voices on Twitter and Facebook is occurring when data analysis shows that the volume and reach of conservative content is quite strong. Willingham also says it is very convenient that the same people who want to convince you that cancel culture is real also seem to be the ones determining who is worthy of being saved from cancel culture and who is not. He says there's accountability. There are legal repercussions, there are tides of public opinion, and the pull of the free market. There are also long-standing institutional structures that serve to suppress and threaten those who act against the interests of those with power. Willingham says that this isn't cancel culture, and by pretending otherwise, we're distracting ourselves from seeing the patterns of who really benefits from this rhetoric and who really loses. So, Christopher, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't really have anything, B. No, I'm kidding. What I'm going to start with is, let's just start with the name, right? Cancel culture. What we're really talking about is accountability, right? This is accountability culture. We talk about, let's just go with Harvey Weinstein, right? He got canceled. I think he just got held accountable to the fucking bullshit that he was doing, right? Burger King didn't quite get canceled for that tweet, but they definitely got held accountable to it, right? I think that's the problem. I think people like to throw around this term because it's a buzz term. They like buzzwords, right? Let's just throw out this term because then it's going to get people amped up and excited and angry and whatever. This is really all about accountability. That's what it comes down to. If you're a fucking asshole and you're live streaming yourself playing Call of Duty and you bust out an anti-Semitic slur, you're not getting canceled. You're being held accountable to being a fucking asshole. Like, that's what it is. It's accountability. That's what this is. And I think people like to throw around the term cancel culture because they can they can do that and still hide behind their prejudices and their bigotry by saying, oh, why do you want to cancel X, Y, and Z? Well, I want to cancel Pepe Le Pew because he's a fucking attempted rapist. That's why I want to fucking cancel him, right? Like, that's not cancel culture. That's just standing up for what's right. That's looking at a situation and understanding what should be and what shouldn't be. And I think that's part of my problem. Now, if we talk about the act of canceling, quote unquote, canceling people, I think there's gray areas there, right? But I think what a lot of this is, if you look at the long list of, again, quote unquote, people that have been canceled, it's accountability. You're just being held accountable to the shit that you're doing. That's not a bad thing. Like, you shouldn't be doing this shit. If you weren't out there doing this shit, you wouldn't be, quote unquote, canceled, right? You wouldn't be held accountable to something that you haven't done. And I guess the whole thing just kind of irritates me because, I guess in part because a lot of the people who are arguing that this is so horrible and we can't be doing this, you got to stop canceling people, they're the same people that want to cancel stuff that they don't believe in, right? These are the same fucking people that canceled French fries 20 years ago, started calling them freedom fries. Get the fuck out of here with that. You're not taking my French fries. How can I get this fat if I don't eat French fries? So I guess the whole thing just kind of irritates me because, again, people are using it as a way to attack. People are using it as a way to, separate people. And really, I think what we need to look at is we need to look at what people are being held accountable to. And maybe, you know what? This is a shocking revelation, I know, but maybe we learn from it. Maybe we learn from, hey, you know what, Burger King, that wasn't the greatest way to tweet that out. Let's learn. Let's change. Let's get better. Like Wiggum said, do better. That's what we should be learning from this. Instead, just like we always do in this country and elsewhere, but especially here, we're just going to use this as one more fucking excuse to rip ourselves apart from one another and point out why that person's wrong and I'm right. And it's just kind of disgusting.
Yeah, and that the thing that really captivated me was the kind of talk about the fact that we're distracting ourselves from seeing the patterns of who benefits and who really loses. So
Right.
one of the examples that this individual gave was Colin Kaepernick. So if there is truly a cancel culture, where were the people saying that it's not fair for Colin Kaepernick to be canceled because he wants to take a knee? He was vilified for wanting to take a knee. He was anti-American for wanting to take a knee, for trying to stand up for injustices. But again, those injustices are the same injustices that people are fighting against even today, because the people that are in power are the ones who would be most impacted if those injustices change. Cancel culture also doesn't stand up for women who are harassed or who have men, especially white men, who come out and say things to them like, hey, you're a chunky girl, or they come out and try to make a woman feel uncomfortable, and that woman says something about it, and then that person, like Andrew Cuomo, goes, oh, I'm not going to resign because I'm not going to be accountable to cancel culture. It's not cancel culture. It's the fact that you as a person are trying to exercise your will to demean other people. You are trying to exercise your will because you want to treat other people in a shitty way. That is a human condition that's not right. That is a human condition that we need to learn from and that we need to change. It's not cancel culture. We're trying to do better. We're trying to be better. The same thing can be said about the LGBTQ community, is that, cancel culture, what people say, doesn't work for the LGBTQ community, because people say, oh, well, I don't want an LGBT person in my bathroom. And it's like, it's their bathroom too. If they identify as a woman, the woman's bathroom is their bathroom. Like, what is it going to take for you to get that through your noggin, right? Like, that is why cancel culture, I've started even thinking about it as kind of like a dog whistle to keep the status quo in place, because people rally around the term cancel culture, and then it's kind of like this counter argument. Oh, well, we can't have that. We need to have our rights and our freedoms and our this and our that. But it's like, basically what you're saying is, I want the right to treat other people like shit.
Yeah, I absolutely. And I think that, again, people grasp on to the buzzword of it, right? Like, we need to stop cancel culture. Well, cancel culture itself really isn't a thing. Like there are people who are quote unquote canceled, right? Um, People that are removed from the spotlight, or people that might lose their job and that kind of thing. But that's because of their actions. You know, you're taught very, very early on, or at least I certainly hope that we all are, that there are repercussions for every action that you take. Sometimes good, sometimes not good. And what this is it's people who are finding out the repercussions for what they did are not so good. And we need to look at that. Now, I think you bring up a good point that there are a lot of people that have certain feelings and things, right? Like a lot of the cancel culture stuff that we're seeing is misogynistic stuff, right? It's guys who are treating women poorly, or treating people in the LGBTQ world poorly, or people who are a different color of them poorly, right? That's a lot of what we're seeing. And so it certainly would make sense that Joe Bob down the road, who spends his time on his front porch with his shotgun and yelling at the black people that run by, that he's going to say cancel culture is bullshit. We don't need that, because it's impacting the people that he relates to, right? Joe Bob doesn't really live down the street. Actually, he probably lives down that way, because I'm in Wisconsin. There's a lot of Joe Bobs here. But anyway, I think that buzzword thing is part of an issue too.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and if we look at our run sheet, like I was kind of making a joke to you, like, okay, there's 12 stories here, and 6 of them involve some type of change based on the fact that we've looked at a situation and we've said, something's not right here and something needs to be done. And I think it's good for us to self evaluate and to say, hey, like, this is something that was okay at one point, but we don't want this to be okay now, right? Like, it's one of those things. I think about it like toddlers, right? Like when a kid is a year old, it's okay for your kid to run around the house naked. That's kind of what you do. When your kid is 7, you don't want your kid running around naked.
Right.
Like that's not necessarily what we want to teach, right? So in 1940, it was, for better or for worse, okay for people to run around and say the word that Myers Leonard said. But
Right.
in 2021, it's not okay for somebody to run around and say the word that Myers Leonard said. And I think that's good. That shows that we're evolving as a species.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the other things that we've got on the list, right? The Pepe Le Pew and Dr. Seuss and those kind of things, right? It's a change in time. Things are different now. One of the Jeff, if you're listening, mute your stream mute it for just a little bit. It's just like my issues with religion, right? Like you can study religion, you can be faithful, you can believe in Jesus and God and all that stuff. That's fine. I don't care. As long as you're not impacting me, that's fine. But if you're clinging to the fact that something that someone believed 2,000 years ago, because they wrote it down in a book, means that that's what we need to believe today, no, like that's not how things work. There's been a few changes in the last 2,000 years. And just as there's, maybe 50 years ago, I don't know how long Pepe Le Pew has been around, but maybe back then it was seen as harmless fun that the skunk was going around and, saying the things that he was saying to the other creatures in these cartoons. But now that we look at it today, we're like, well, we can see why that's a bad thing. We can see how, interacting with people isn't good, even though it's a cartoon character and it's a skunk. It's still not okay to be educating children that the way that you interact with people can be this way. 50 or 100 years ago or whatever it was, maybe we weren't at that point, but we've evolved as a species and as a culture to know that isn't okay. And it's time to move on. Okay, so it's been 80 years. It's time to move on and better ourselves. And that's why we're seeing these things that are being pulled from the from the spotlight, or pulled from publication, or whatever the case may be, and just saying, you know what, it's not okay anymore. We're ready to move on. Now, there are people out there who they believe in that falls in line with their stuff. Some of it's just nostalgia, sure. Some people, maybe Pepe Le Pew was my favorite cartoon character growing up, and I'm really upset because now he's not going to be around anymore. And there may be some of that, and it may be completely innocent. But there's a lot of people that are like, man, that's the way I want to talk to women. I want to be able to do that. Now they're going to take Pepe Le Pew off. I can't talk to women like that no more. I'm angry about it. I don't know what kind of accent that was supposed to be, but anyway.
That was amazing. I loved it.
But yeah, so there's different sides to that. But I think the end message is we've evolved. We continue to evolve. And you know what? In 20 years, there's going to be things that we're doing and saying right now that's probably not going to be okay either. And we're going to have to learn to evolve with that too.
Right. I mean, it's like we're both kids where we watched a lot of stuff in the 90s. If we think about stuff that we grew up in on the 90s, like there's stuff now that I'm like, ooh, that didn't really age
Yeah.
well. Like, and again, like when you're a kid, like it goes over your head. You don't really, like, sometimes you get it, but sometimes you don't. But now as an adult, you're like, ooh,
Well, and
right? But
I think it's important that we look at ourselves too, because one other thing that I kind of wanted to touch on with this is it okay to still support these individuals? Like, I mean, there's certain things, right? So one of the big things is recently they've been trying to cancel Eminem because of the lyrics specifically in one song that kind of glorifies domestic abuse and arguably murder, I guess you could say. Like I listen to a lot of Eminem's music. I'm a fan of his music, but if I listen to like the lyrics of the music, like a lot of it is god awful shit. Like I love the flow and I love the feel and the music itself, and there's a lot of things I enjoy of it, and some of it's really uplifting and energizing and whatever. But then there's some of it that is just god awful, horrible. Like you can't talk about people that way, right?
right, I mean, I listened to Stan the other day, and I'm like,
It's
oh,
bad.
oof, man.
Right,
Like that whole
exactly.
like that whole last bar, I'm just like cringing. Like, like when I'm, 21-year-old B, I'm like, fuck yeah, like this song is a bang. We didn't have the term banger back then. But like now as a 40-year-old man, I mean, I'm not 40 yet, but I'm getting there, it's coming. But it's like, ooh, like again, like some of this, like obviously he's trying to be artistic and he's doing
Sure.
whatever, and it's like, like even some of the things that he says in the song, like where there's the part where he's like, oh, how fucked up are you? And I'm like, ooh, like that's not the way that you should talk to people who
Right.
are experiencing like, mental
Yeah.
illness or like mental. But like again, we have to think about in the 2000s, mental health awareness was nowhere near
Right.
what mental health awareness is now, right? Like if that song came out in, you know, 2019 as opposed to 2002 or whenever it came
Mm-hmm.
out, completely different story. Like
Yeah.
that song basically gets thrown through a wood chipper.
So maybe this is an example where does it make sense that we're not canceling Eminem, but hey Eminem, you know what? Maybe you need to rethink some of those lyrics and what you're doing going forward. Now, I think Eminem, like I don't know the guy, but the persona that he gives off in any interviews you watch with him, pretty sure he's going to say, "Go fuck yourself. I'm going to do what I want to do," and then people have to make that decision. Do I still support him? The other example I would give, and I know we're running a little bit long on this one, but Kevin Spacey, right? He did some really fucking horrific shit, and he was one of the early ones that got canceled, right? I love the shit out of Kevin Spacey's movies. Like that guy was like intense. I love that shit. But now if I watch any kind of a show and I see Kevin Spacey in there, I kind of get a little hollow inside and go, ooh, Spacey.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's like R. Kelly, right? Like R. Kelly comes on the radio, remix to Ignition, all that. Like, but you just like, ooh, like
Yeah. Yeah.
like you hear the jam and you think about the nostalgia, but then you also think about like all, and like you knew that R. Kelly was into all that back then, but you didn't know
Right.
what you know now. But it's the same. Like you can look at this over the years. You think about R. Kelly, you think about Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
you think about, in there this happens in every genre, whether it's sports or music or politics or whatever. There are people who have skeletons in their closet, and I kind of have a saying to myself. It's that if I were to judge a person's work based on their personal, doings, there would be like three people that I would like, right?
Yeah. Well, that's
Because,
fair. And I think
you know,
that's something that each person needs to judge themselves, right? Like 30 years ago, I was saying, I don't like Michael Jackson, but I dig his music, right? Like Michael Jackson made some fucking bangers. I don't use that term, but I'm going to use it now. But Michael Jackson he had some fucking issues going on. Like he was probably a piece of shit. Let's be honest. Um, but I think each person has to judge that themselves, right? Unless it gets to the point where, quote unquote, cancel culture comes after them. Um, but I think each person has to kind of judge that themselves. And maybe I don't listen to Eminem anymore. Maybe that's a choice that I make.
right. Well, and I think Wiggum makes a good point that you don't ever need to be okay with the person, but you need to value what they brought to the industry. And I think there's a point too that thinking about how these things come forward. So thinking about Dr. Seuss, like those books are still read, those books are still published. If those books are still published, then we want to publish them to a standard of what we want to reflect today. So if those particular books that are deemed offensive are no longer published, then we have resolved the problem. And there's another kind of topic on the wheel that we're not going to get to because we've already gone long, but like the Disney Plus thing, like Disney
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like they've actually done a really good job with how they are looking at the past and applying it to the future.
Yeah. I really want to take this in a direction and mention a certain individual.
Do
I'm
it.
pretty no, because we've gone long already, and everybody will really fucking hate me because for some reason this individual is like a cherished individual.
Come on, you can't like leave us like
you already know who I'm talking about.
I don't.
Oh, I'm sure you do. If you think about it, you'll figure it out. But we're gonna skip that. I'm gonna set that up. Maybe we'll do that next time. If people want to hear me go off on this individual. That's right. So if you want to hear that, see that tease? You hear that? You subscribe on Patreon. Wiggum's gonna throw the link in the chat there. Patrons get a little bit of extra podcast stuff every week. So there's a link. Go ahead and click that. You can support on Patreon. If you get it in there right now, get it in. Then you can get this. You can get this episode. Plus, you can always hear the back ones later. So there we go. I think it's time, though, B. I think it's time. Are you ready?
Oh, it's time for that ZE. Feed me in a week.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Well, I mean, it's because this random rankings is a food draft. It's
that's
both.
true. So which one do I go with? Which sound? I'm going to go with this one.
Zeke Elliott, feed me of the week.
But it's also
random rankings.
Random rankings time, Chad.
So it's random rankings time. And someone that I know linked a March Madness style bracket called the Snacklet. They have 4 divisions of different kinds of snacks. And because Skanzi and I are often hungry, we're going to work through some of the stuff on this bracket. I have not decided how we're going to decide which region we're going to go with today and how long we're going to go. But I figured that we would at least get started on this and we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah, I think because as we were wrapping that up, I was looking at this. I have it pulled up, and I was like, I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but I think probably what the best point is
you could do a 1 through 4, and we could just assign numbers to each bracket. So
and then we randomly do it. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Like dish is 1, handfuls 2, spread is 3, dip is 4.
Actually, I can just put the name in.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we got? Dish,
handful, spread, dip.
Okay, all of that could mean other stuff, and I have a really gross mind. So let's move on. Anyway, so the idea is, let me.
And you could always pull up that bracket and put it on the screen too, if you want.
I already got it.
Look at you. Look at you.
There it is. So this is the old bracket that we're going to work on. We're going to randomize which area we're at. And chat, if you're here, if you're active, if you want to join in, you are more than welcome to put your opinions out there. We kind of the idea behind this, and this is Brian's idea. I will take absolutely zero credit. But he's like, we should do like our own. It's March Madness time. Let's do our own bracket, but let's do something different than just March Madness stuff. So this is what we're going with, and we're going to work through all the way until we get to champion, and then maybe whatever wins, I'll pick it up and I'll eat it on a fucking stream or something stupid like that. So
that sounds amazing.
Hopefully it's not disgusting like one of these. It's probably disgusting.
Pickles and cheese cubes.
Oh God.
Actually, that sounds pretty good.
Maybe. All right. So I did randomize it. I've got all 4, and we'll just stick with. I'm going to save this. This is the order that we're going to do all of them. So week 1. I'm going to do it in reverse. So the last one we're going to do. For the first round is the spread division. Spread will be, I guess that's 4 weeks from now, right?
Well, and we don't have to. We can see how much we can play it by.
Maybe
time
we can do a
each
couple.
week,
Okay.
Right?
Spread came up as the 4th. The 3rd, handful. The 2nd, dish. So we're gonna start off with the dip.
With the dips. All right. So let's start with our 1 versus 16 matchup. So for dips, we have fast food French fries plus a Frosty or ice cream beverage of your choice. and we've got bell pepper strips and homemade ranch. Now, before we answer, how are we going to do this? Do we need consensus for an item to move on, or do like each of us just take a bracket and say like, all right, like you get to pick this one and then I pick the next one? How are we going to do it?
I think let's just have a conversation and see where we land,
All
because
right.
we both may pick the same one. We go with it, and then if Chad has an opinion that severely differs from that, we may have to chat on that too.
All right. So what do you got on this one, Sconzi?
Apparently I'm zooming in. Can I move this around somehow? Maybe ish. Try that. Oh God, that's huge. I don't know how to move around in this bracket, Chad.
Oh, other side.
Let me shrink this down.
This is where we would play the Jeopardy music, but that is not a DM.
That's right,
CA
DMCA.
safe.
Yeah, that's not okay. I wish this just would have opened up an actual freaking.
Yeah, I opened mine in Adobe because
Yeah, I don't know that I have Adobe.
Not Adobe, not a sponsor of this podcast, but a sponsor of my employer, but not really.
All right, let me just save this thing quick.
So, as you all know, I enjoy food. So I'll give my take on this while Sconzi is getting that set up. So I'll be honest, I've never actually tried the French fries with a Frosty. I've never tried it. So I honestly don't know how that would be. I can tell you though that bell pepper strips and homemade ranch is pretty delicious. That's a good one. I like that one. I don't know that I like bell pepper strips and ranch more than I like French fries, though. So I'm a little bit torn here. So I will wait for Sconzi's
We're good.
interpretation of this matchup.
We're all zoomed in here.
Okay.
Ish. Almost perfect. All right. So you've never done the Frosty and French fries.
I've not.
So, but bell pepper strips and homemade ranch, you're in on that.
I'm okay with it, but like I think I like French fries more than I like either bell pepper strips or homemade ranch.
But
So
you have to have the fries with the Frosty though. They have to be together.
Can I eat them separately?
No, because you have to dip it. That's the whole thing. You have to dip it in.
So have you done the dip?
No, I have not.
All right, so Emily says bell peppers and ranch.
I love bell pepper strips and ranch. So it's almost unfathomable to me that I would choose fries and a Frosty over bell pepper and ranch. It's got to be bell peppers and ranch for me.
We're going with the 16?
I think the 16 wins, man.
Oh, 16 seed.
Now I got to see if I can edit this thing. You know what? I can highlight it. Let's just do that. Shoop. All right. Moving off to soft pretzels and grainy mustard and apples and caramel dip. I think you and I are going to differ on this one.
I know that you're all about the soft pretzels and grainy mustard.
Yes.
Because it's grainy mustard. Grainy mustard can just like fall off a cliff for me.
Yeah, I love that mustard. And I'm gonna blame the pretzels and mustard on being German because somehow that seems German. Yeah, the grainy mustard is amazing on its own. Soft pretzels, amazing on their own. You add them together, boom, it's a party in your mouth, baby.
I feel like I would just I would take the L and eat the mustard just so that I could have the soft pretzel. So I'm gonna take the L and we'll take the soft pretzels and grainy mustard.
Oh, we've got Wiggum and Emily that both went apples and caramel.
I mean, I could see that. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine.
I think we go apples and caramel as much as I disagree with it. I think with
that's what you want. All right.
I think that's where we're leaning so far. So I think that makes sense.
Okay, let's do apples and caramel. That's fine.
All right.
All right. So
go ahead.
We have Ruffles and French onion dip and corn chips and spinach artichoke dip. This is our 12-5 matchup. What are your feelings on this one, Christopher?
This is definitely one where the 12 does not upset the 5. Not even close in my book. But I'm not a big spinach artichoke guy. So that's not my thing. The French onion dip I really do enjoy. So yeah, the Ruffles gets it for me.
Yep, Ruffles is it. Ruffles it is.
Yeah,
all right,
we're pretty much a sweep.
All right, we're moving on to our mozzarella sticks and marinara sauce versus Teddy Grahams and Funfetti frosting. So I'm just gonna say we're going with mozzarella sticks, and we're not looking back.
Done. Move on. Wait.
I mean, that sounds interesting though. Teddy Grahams, like that sounds just really sweet though.
Yeah, I've done Teddy Grahams and Nutella, and they're freaking amazing.
Oh, okay.
But mozz sticks and marinara, that's just like, that's the thing. We're
All
in
right, so
Wisconsin. It's cheese. Come on.
We got tortilla chips and red salsa, and then some fresh pita bread, and something that I've never had before.
Baba ganoush.
Yes.
Let's look it up. I think it's probably something you like. Baba ganoush.
Of course, Old Man Wiggum doesn't like mozzarella sticks. Is anyone surprised by that?
Nope. I think baba ganoush is basically it's an appetizer. Eggplant, olive oil, lemon juice, seasonings, and sometimes tahini.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not a big eggplant fan. I thought it was chickpeas, like what am I thinking? Hummus?
Yeah.
Like if it was hummus 100%, that would be the choice. Well,
Okay,
maybe not 100%. But
so
yeah,
we're going tortilla chips?
Tortilla and salsa, I think, is the answer here.
All right, let's do it.
Wiggum says, oh wait, I don't like 11 either. That's okay, we went with 6.
All right, we got pot stickers and sweetened soy sauce, or sweet potato fries and aioli. This one right here is real interesting.
Yeah? Why do you say that?
I am a big fan of sweet potato fries. Love sweet potato fries.
Yep.
If you give me the option of like just regular generic fries and sweet potato fries, I will often take sweet potato fries.
Yeah. So you're looking upset.
I mean, I think both of these are delicious. I don't feel like we can go wrong with either choice.
Yeah, there's one word here that's throwing me off. And it's sweetened.
Yeah.
Sweetened soy sauce. Like, I love sweet potato fries and aioli. That's amazing. I do enjoy pot stickers. I think I would have to lean towards the fries as well. But we do have 2 votes of pot stickers in there too. So what do we think? Is that enough to sway us off of sweet potato fries? I'm thinking no. I'm still pretty strong on the sweet potato side.
All right, let's do sweet potato fries.
All right.
So I guess Old Man Wiggum needs to tell us something on this board that he does like. So I think that's where we go. So now
Z-Dubs did come in with a late vote for sweet potato fries, so that's the right choice.
That's a swing vote. All right. Yeah. So that's a ballot dump, as our old friend would have called it. Pot stickers was winning. All right. So we've got tortilla chips and green salsa, and tortilla scoops and buffalo chicken dip. So both things that are going to be very hot. So Sconzi, guide me.
I already highlighted the buffalo chicken dip. I think, like we've already got tortilla chips and red salsa. I don't know that we need green salsa as well. And buffalo chicken dip, dude, that shit is just fire. That is so good. And and if you're somebody who doesn't like things super spicy, you could just cut back on the buffalo sauce and make it a little bit more mild. Whereas I'll take all the extra buffalo sauce you don't use and I'll throw it in mine to make it extra spicy.
Right. All right. So now we're back to your homemade hummus and French or the pita bread.
Oh no! What are these?
Against mac and cheese bites and spicy ranch. This is your hell. This
is not fair.
I'm all about the pita bread and hummus. It's done. Mac and cheese bites, like mac and cheese bites are so hit or miss. Like sometimes you get, the thing about this is we're talking about the range of outcomes, right? So we've been to multiple different restaurants, and like no matter where you go, you can get bomb pita bread and hummus, no matter where you go. With mac and cheese bites, there are some places that have really good mac and cheese bites. Other places, it's just like super bland and runny and weird. So I'm going hummus and pita bread.
I'm going to agree. I'm sorry, Emily. I do love my mac and cheese bites, but you're right. Because let's be honest, nobody's making them fresh, right? They're all frozen, and depending on how they deep fry it, season it, etc., it's going to be very different. But yeah, you give me a really good hummus, and that's next level.
All right, so now we've finished this one. Do we move to the next one and like kind of complete that?
I think we complete each quadrant.
Okay.
And get to the final 4.
Got you. Okay. So
I'm gonna
now
have to figure out how to type in here though.
All right. So we have a matchup. It's a 16 and a 9. So we had the upset. We've got bell pepper strips and ranch or apples and caramel. What do you got on this one, Christopher?
It's not letting me write in here, I don't think.
I think you have to do the fill and sign. If you do fill and sign, you can just put the number in. So you could put like.
Oh, I guess that might kind of work. Kind
Yeah,
of.
because
It's going to be super huge. All right, so we've got. Well, I highlighted fast food fries. We know that's not it. Hold up. No. What are you talking about? Bell pepper strips and apples and caramel, huh?
Yep.
Z-Dubs gave a late third vote over pretzels. Wait, what?
So Z-Dubs apparently voted for pretzel over apples.
Oh, so we're gonna change that one?
That's what the chat's asking for.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. That makes it interesting because it would have been a landslide bell peppers for me on this one.
See, I think it's still a landslide bell peppers for me because of the grainy mustard. I don't care for the grainy mustard.
I'm taking the pretzels, man. I think we got to go to the chat and see which way we go because, you know, I was willing to forego the mustard once. I'm not doing it again. I need that mustard, Joe. So chat, what is it? Is it the apples and caramel?
Or no, is it
Oh, no,
bell pepper
soft
strips and
pretzels.
ranch?
Yeah.
Bell pepper and ranch, or is it pretzels and mustard?
We got a pretzel from Wiggum. I'm guessing we're getting bell peppers from Emily, is my guess.
Yep, bell peppers from Emily. So it's coming down to Z-Dubs again.
What do you got, Dubs? Are you here? Are you going to give us the tiebreaker? I know my highlights are all screwed up. Fast food is not the option.
Pretzels, it is. All right. All right.
Did I spell pretzel right? I think I did. All right. So down here, we've got the Ruffles and French onion dip and the Mott's. Ooh, Mott's and marinara. Wow. That's a rough one.
I got Mott's and marinara. Mott's and marinara easy for me.
Like if I'm out somewhere, obviously Mott's and marinara. If I'm not out somewhere, Ruffles and onion dip. And right now, it's the middle of Rona. I think I'm going Ruffles because I'm not going anywhere. And it looks like Emily's a tiebreaker here.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mozzarella sticks it is.
All right, the Mott's wins.
See, the thing about mozzarella sticks is mozzarella sticks too are one of those things where you get such a wide outcome. But like honestly,
yeah, that's true.
I can't remember the last time I've eaten potato chips. And I think part of that is because I don't leave the house. Like I eat potato chips when I go to a barbecue or when I go tailgating.
Yeah, I think that's part of why Mott Sticks isn't a runaway for me. I love Mott Sticks, but so many of them are just garbage, right? They're super greasy and it's just, but it doesn't matter. Mott Sticks moves on. We've got tortilla chips with red salsa, sweet potato fries, and aioli. I suspect that this is a landslide.
What are you thinking it's going to be?
Chips and salsa.
Oh, see, I was going to go with the sweet potatoes, but I think I'm going to be outvoted.
You are. Okay, Z-Dubs is on your side. Me. I love the sweet potato fries, but tortillas, like chips and salsa is like, it's almost an American in apple pie, but not quite.
All right, so we've got chips and salsa moves on. So now we've got tortilla scoops with buffalo chicken or pita bread and hummus. I am behind the pita bread and the hummus.
Yeah, I'm on the hummus as well. I'm going to start typing that one because I don't think anything.
I was going to say, I think if we both agree, we should lock it in. Yeah. If we're different, then the chat decides it.
All right, so we got hummus and salsa then.
Yep.
You're going hummus again?
Oh.
I know, this is a rough one.
So here's my thing. I think if I had to eat this multiple times a week, it's chips and salsa.
Yeah.
If I'm eating this like I get a meal, it's hummus and pita bread. So I think in this one, I'm thinking like, let's say I have to eat this multiple times in a week, and I'm going to go with the tortilla chips and salsa.
So in the last round, hummus got a unanimous vote in chat.
Yeah.
And it's got a vote from Wiggum and Z-Dubs. Emily is on the chips and salsa side. So I really am a swing at this point.
It's up to you.
Oh, man. I think we need parameters around this. Is this like which is just better in and of itself?
I don't know. So if we're going with better, I'm gonna go with. I would change my vote.
Why don't we
if
just
we're going
do?
with better.
You are at the potluck, and you've got fresh pita bread and hummus, and tortilla and salsa sitting in front of you.
Oh, pita bread and hummus is what I'm eating. Yeah. That's what I'm eating. Period.
Yep. Hummus wins that one. Now we got pretzels and the mustard, and mozzarella sticks and marinara. I'm going 100% soft pretzel, baby.
All right. Well, I guess it's up to the chat because y'all know where I'm going. I'm going mozzarella sticks and marinara sauce.
Wiggum win pretzel. Yeah, we're going pretzel.
Well, apparently pretzels is just gonna win because I'm the only. I'm gonna pull my old man Wiggum card and go. I don't like mustard.
All right. Well, we got the pretzel and the hummus.
All right.
You're going hummus.
100%.
This one's tough.
See, if you had said pretzel and cheese, pretzel wins.
Yeah.
But pretzel and mustard, hummus wins.
All right, this is what I'm gonna use as my tiebreaker. We go oftentimes, well, we used to a brew pub who serves both hummus and the pretzels. And the pretzel is better.
And what I would say is, hey, can you bring me a side of cheese? And then you get all the mustard to yourself.
All right,
because they bring you the mustard cup in a cheese cup. And I go, hey, can you bring me a side of cheese? And then you get a cheese cup and a mustard cup.
That's true. All right, so Emily's on the hummus. Z-Dub's on the hummus. Old Man Wiggum's on the pretzel. I will be honest, I am so stuck on this pretzel. I am this close to making an executive decision and saying it's my fucking stream. I'm doing the pretzel. But I'm not going to do that because that would be rude.
It's hummus.
It's hummus. It's hummus. All right, so there we go. So there is the dip region. Hummus comes out after a couple of very tough fights. Like this was an easy one against the mac and cheese. But it got ugly against the salsa. And the pretzel beat the shit out of the hummus. But he made it through.
So what you're saying is that the mac and cheese was like Joe K versus Goldberg.
Pretty much, yeah. All right, I think it's time to move on, B, because we're running extra long this week. What are we at?
We're at like 1:30.
Yeah, we got to wrap this puppy up. So we got to do our extra point, B, and I'm gonna hand it over to you to do your extra point.
All right, so I'm gonna keep my extra point short this week, or I'm gonna try to. So, as we all know, we're approaching a year where COVID-19 was ruled a global pandemic, and a lot of people are looking back on the way that they initially reacted to COVID and knowing what we know now and how everything is going. And then there are other people who are celebrating birthdays and anniversaries and other holidays, and they're still like, this really kind of sucks because I've had 2 birthdays or 2 anniversaries in COVID times. And there is someone on the stream that his name rhymes with Ponzi, who recently had a birthday. And one of the things that I said to him is, at the end of the day, we're just glad that you've had another year, right? And I think that's a really good way to approach all of the stuff that's been going on with COVID and everything that so many people have sacrificed, is that there's a lot of people who haven't made it to this new year. There's a lot of people who haven't seen another birthday, another anniversary, another time. So I'm just thankful that I'm here and that I'm, knock on wood, relatively healthy, and that we're getting to a point where we can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're hopeful that it's not a train.
You're in line. Thank you for that. I tend to get very long in my my extra points, so I'm gonna try to zip it up a little bit. I had a conversation with a friend today around multiple things, but we talked a bit about this podcast, and then we touched on a little bit earlier too, and we were talking about the topics that we have on here. A lot of not pretty topics, right? And I think that, and this is kind of a call to action for Brian and I. I think there's a fine line between bringing awareness and bringing a point of view on certain topics and just having negative things to talk about. And sometimes we're negative about things. Sometimes we're just talking about negative topics. But I think, and we talked about it earlier, let's focus on more of the positive stuff, because God knows there's enough fucking negative shit around, right? We don't need to focus on that. We all see it every single day. So this is a call of action, and really for me personally, but I'd say for us, let's focus on, how do we find the good? How do we focus on the good? How do we find that positive thing? How do we find that rainbow? How do we find the light at the end of the tunnel and not the train, as you so eloquently put it, right? How do we search for those? Because I think it's important, not just in the context of this podcast, but in the context of our lives. Because I'm sure you've heard people say, what you focus on gets done, or put it out in the world and it'll come back to you. And I think really what that is a way of restructuring your focus. I may have said this once before, but have you ever purchased a new car? I'm sure you probably have, whether new or used or whatever, new to you, right? And then you notice immediately afterward, you see that fucking car everywhere. It's at the Walmart. It's at the Costco. It's driving behind. There's like 14 of them right behind you. They're everywhere. Why is it? Because you're focused more on that, right? You've got that car, and now you see it more often. And it's the same thing with everything else in life. So what I'm going to be focusing on, and I hope we can as a podcast, and all of us, for everyone that's listening and watching, let's focus more on the good and focus more on the positive, because that's going to help us shine more. It's going to help us live more in the positive space. And I think we all need a little bit of that. That's what I got, B. You want to wrap us up?
I sure will. That all sounds great. Well, since you all have been with us here, you can give us your feedback on Twitter. You can find me at LandmarkMKE. If you want to send some birthday wishes out, you can find Sconzi at Sconzi. You can find us at AQ_PROD on Twitter. You can also find Sconzi on Patreon if you'd like to hear that person that he wouldn't tell us who he's going to talk about. If we remember, he'll talk about that person on the extra time. If you are a patron at a specific level, you get that extra time video podcast. You can also find us on Facebook at AQPROD, and you can find the podcast of this stream in your favorite podcast app every Sunday night if you search for We Random. So until next time, I'm Brian. That's Christopher. Enjoy your week. By the time you hear this on the podcast, we'll already have sprung forward. Enjoy that extra hour of sunlight, and try, if you can, to bring a little extra sunlight into somebody else's life, because sometimes the best thing that we can do is do something nice for others. So, Christopher, you got anything else for the wonderful, fine people this evening?
No, I got everything that I've already given to you. Hope you have a good rest of your week.
Have a good night, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye, everybody. Forgot to start the music.
I heard the music.
I know. No, I started it, but I need to start it earlier. That's what I want to do. I started it earlier. All right, we're good. Well, thanks, Chad. Thank you, B.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Old Man Wiggum, Emily, Z-Dubs, Matthew was out there for a little while. If I missed anybody, it was good to have all of you here in the chat tonight interacting with us. It was a great time. Especially I enjoyed the random rankings and kind of getting that feedback, because I knew that Sconzi and I would disagree on some of those, because I do not like mustard. Mustard is not my jam. I also don't really like spicy stuff. So as we get into some of the more spicy things, we're probably going to disagree again.
Yes, I'm sure we will. But yeah, it's a good time. And Emily made a comment about the random ranking. She's a fan, so I appreciate that. And yeah, this is a really good idea, B. I like it. It'll obviously it's going to extend for quite a few weeks, but big deal. I think that's fun.
Well, and I figured, depending on time, like we could rip through like one whole side of the bracket too, where we could say, all right, this week we're going to do dish and handful or whatever.
Yeah.
And then some of it's just depending on time. Like this week we were going
we were long. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we'll have to see. And next week obviously I've got the time constraint too. So
yep.
Good. I'm glad you liked it, Wiggum. Save the suspense. Yeah, I think we can play it by ear, and we'll see how it's going. I like the idea of doing each side of the bracket, and then maybe the 5th week we wrap it up, or maybe we do it on the 4th week we wrap it up.
Yeah. So, and just to let you all in chat know, and to get your feedback, we did throw this out to the patrons, but on March 26th, I will not be available for podcasting. So we're trying to look for options. Do you want us to move the podcasts to a different day where we would podcast as a one off on a different day? Do you want Skanzi to bring in a special podcast guest to replace your boy for that episode? Or what would you like us to do?
Yeah, I will say that my preference is that we stay on schedule, just because we've built it up, to be every Friday at 5:30. So I think that's kind of where my preference is. But let us know what your thoughts are. You are definitely, the people that are here are some of the more consistent people with hanging out. So definitely open to your thoughts on how we do that.
Well, I mean, and staying on schedule, that would really be more, for you, because then you would either do it solo or find a replacement, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say replacement. Temporary stand-in. Nobody could replace you, B. So yeah, I think that's what we got. Sorry, Wiggum's sending me some messages, some private messages, talking about Z-dubs. No, I'm kidding. Maybe I'm kidding. All right, so I gotta give myself a note to talk about that person. Let's see, what are we talking about? Cancel culture. Cancel culture. That person. Got it. Tomorrow.
is it our favorite? Is it our favorite bad person?
I'm not giving any hints, man. Not giving any hints. People are gonna look at me differently after that one, probably. But
am I gonna look at you differently?
No, because you already know. You're well aware. You are well aware. You're just not remembering right now.
I am not remembering right now.
Yeah. So again, chat. Let us know what your thoughts are when B's out. How we want to handle that. Of course, the random ranking thing is going to be a little bit interesting. So maybe what we might do. How do we handle that? Maybe we can do it ahead of time. That might work. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll come up with something. But anyway, I think I'm going to keep streaming for a little bit, because why the hell not? I want to play some Apex, bro. I want to stink up the joint a little bit.
You bringing in the Apex team?
Well, I don't know. We'll see who's around. I think Z-Dubs is around, so maybe hang out with him. Yeah. You're welcome to join if you'd like.
I have not yet downloaded Apex.
Oh, you should do that.
That's probably a starting point.
Yeah, do that. Or we can check it out, this weekend or something. Cool. All right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change this to that. And then I'm going to change this to that. Actually, you know what? Since we've got actually all the patrons here. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to send you a note in the Patreon Discord channel. So I'm interested in your feedback on something. Emily and I should play Apex so we can all suck together. You totally should. That would be amazing. You need to be in Discord, and somebody needs to share the stream, because I want to fucking watch. Plus I can give you tips. That would be cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and load up Apex. I think Z-Dubs will probably be joining me. And then
we gotta cancel out of the Zencaster too.
Oh yeah, good call. Let me stop my recording.
Save all that.
I think it was last week that I had like a 4-hour recording for the podcast because I didn't stop it.
Nice.
If you want to keep chatting, well, let me save it first. Where is it? It's in Chrome. It's in the other Chrome. Where's it? The other Chrome.
The other Chrome.
There it is. Fucking Zencaster killing me. All right, download MP3. Download MP3. Let me save it quick. Skanzi stream for podcast. Episode 30. Did you ever think we'd reach episode 30?
I mean, it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
I never thought. I mean, we didn't even hardly. We barely reached episode 1, man.
I mean, we did like 4 test episodes before we reached episode 1.
Sure, we did. We did. All right, we're all saved up in Zenny. So I'm gonna exit out of there. If you want to stick around, you're more than welcome. You know how to join the streaming chat thing.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, close those guys, and then chat. I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break. I'm gonna get myself something to drink and get up and move around a little bit. So I'm gonna hit the BRB screen and we'll be back in I don't know, 2-3 minutes, give or take, something like that. So stick around. I'll turn some music on for you. That won't give me DMCA. Woo! There we go, chat. Yeah. All right, I'll be back in a couple minutes, chat. Hello. Hey, thanks for keeping everybody updated on the information there, Wiggum. I appreciate that. See, we got a Z-Dubs in the chat, in the Discord. How you doing, man? I was talking to Z-Dubs and I was on mute. How you doing, Z-Dubs?
That figures.
I mean, it's what I do.
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I should have grabbed myself a bourbon while I was up.
You should have.
Yeah, I might have to go do that quick. I realized as I went into the kitchen to grab something to drink, I was like, shit, I haven't eaten dinner. Like, I had lunch, an early lunch, and that was it. I didn't eat no dinner, so I shoved something down my throat really quick. I'm gonna go grab a bourbon quick, chat. I'll be right back. What's up, TT? Good to see you, bro. Grandpa. All right, give me just a sec, Jen. Better back off, Grandpa. Specifically for TT, he knows what I'm talking about. Z-Dub's in a match. He didn't want to wait for me. I see how it is. All right.
Actually, I was in a match before you even.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
It says 3 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, I popped right as you came into Discord. So. Whose fault is that? Not mine.
I was in Discord
Just
for
saying.
a full 3 minutes before you got there, so I think it is your fault. 100% on you.
Hearing lots of excuses.
So Wiggum says, give people an option to submit stories to discuss. I think that's a good idea. I'm trying to figure out how we coordinate that. I almost think Discord might be the way to do that. We've already got a Discord. We got Discord set up. Maybe. No, I'm not going to do that, man. No, you guys don't get to see Apex. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put a channel in Patreon or in Discord. And if you have suggestions for the podcast, you can put it in there. Do we have a link to Discord, C-Dubs? Or, Jesus Christ, I don't know what I'm saying. Live, it looks like. Is it going to work if I put it in there? There we go. So there's the Discord link. You can go ahead and join to the Discord there. And I'm going to make a We Random channel. I'm going to make it open to everybody. And if you're interested, just go ahead and put some stories in there. And we can pull from those for the following week. That'd be amazing. Where do I want to put it? Put it up here. Free random podcast suggestions. Create the channel. There it is. It's in the Discord. Yeah, if you have ideas, please share them. Absolutely open to all that. Let's see what we got going on in the old Apex here. Any cool store stuff I need to look at, maybe? They have a special offers. I'm not buying any of that stuff. This gun is amazing. I've already got it though, but it's amazing. Check our challenges. I don't even have it open. What am I doing? X. There. Thanks for nothing, notepad. Hey, has anybody gotten a warning from Windows that you need to update your Windows or it's going to go something? Your version of Windows 10 will reach end of service soon. Click to download a newer version. Stay supported. What the fuck? Yeah, I can show the gun. I can just go into here because I've got it. What is it? A submachine gun? There you go.
Scotch.
Don't fall for the scam. Well, this came directly from Windows, so. You still on your match or are you done?
I'm done. I'm just waiting on you.
You know what? Don't even get sassy with me, Z-Dubs. I ain't in the mood for that tonight.
Just waiting.
Jeez.
Waiting for Sconcy.
Christ. See what I have to put up with, chat? This is what I have to put up with. I do want to point out that my blue light has not fallen on my head, so
That's
we
unfortunate.
got that son of a bitch.
It'd make for a hell of a stream, though.
It would.
What?
It would. Somebody better clip that if it falls on my head. Kobe thinks the gun is cool. It is a cool gun skin. Downloading Apex, it says it'll take 61 minutes. That sounds about right. What are you downloading it on, Landmark? Are you downloading it on your PC or?
His AOL Online 56K modem.
Ah, PS4. That's right.
This is your champion.
And the music down a touch.
For a syndicate dog.
Teammate already bailed. Well, since it's our first match of the night, we're gonna drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's
Portal all
hot.
the time.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. Movie night, huh? What are you watching, TT? You showing the kids the Saw movies finally? Well, this is already a done one. I got a Mozambique, dude. We're winning this shit.
I got you beat. I got a G7 Scout. There's a blue backpack right there.
Okay.
And I think people just opened that front door.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're right there. Holy shit, they're right there.
That wasn't a great throw. Do we want to fight or do we want to push out? Miss me. Now you gotta kiss me. First, I'm gonna blow you up with a fucking grenade.
Aye!
Holy shit, I missed every shot.
Oh my god, I should have had her.
I've been garbage with the EVA 8 lately.
Yeah.
Challenge completed. Reach 3,000 points. For what? Oh, Chaos Theory. Look at that. Check out this skin quick. Ooh, I like it. Be around there.
Relativity becomes
Get your mum's permission to read.
Come on, friend. Time to win.
You lot better stretch. You're about to run for your lives. Kia kaha, folks. This is your champion. Not bad. Not bad for a syndicate dog.
Or a syndicate dog. Alright, Corn Cooch 69. What's up, Corn Cooch 69? What are the odds that I last less than 45 seconds before I throw my lift thinking it's a caustic trap? I think the odds are pretty good.
Pretty high.
Yeah.
What's up, Corn Cooch?
What's up, Corn Cooch?
Ramalama ding dong!
Fuck. There's one going somewhere, I think to the front. Didn't see anybody else though.
Well, good news, I got a G7 Scout, so we're gonna be fine.
Oh yeah. Shit, I didn't even get the gun. I didn't get either gun. Fucking fuck.
Ah, shit.
I got heavy ammo for you. Oh shit, that was an accident.
pick me up.
The heavy's in here if you need it.
Heavy ammo here. Got him.
Whoa, how was I so low? I don't even think I got hit. I'm confused. I don't know what happened.
Whatever. Corn Cooch was not great. Oh, jeez.
I know where we want to be. Follow me.
Can we end a few careers today? I do say we might.
Be right with you, dears.
You lot better stretch. You're about to run for your lives. Kia kaha, folks. Introducing your champion. Ace, mate. Let's see you do it again.
Come get some.
Third time's a charm, Skanzi.
All right, let's do it.
Come get some.
There's three other teams coming down here.
Yeah.
Did you go down into the thing?
Yeah. Whatever.
Shooting at me. Enemy down.
Shit, I don't got much left. I'm gonna die.
Round one. Beginning ring
We're not all in
countdown.
the.
Recharging my shield. Contact with target. Going to phase.
Oh,
Contact with target.
Thank you. I got almost no energy or no ammo. So you got anything I need?
Contact with
Nope.
hostile.
Yeah.
Being downed. Numpty, right here.
Reloading.
Got a new kill leader. Let's see how long this lasts.
Heads up. New kill leader. One second, we got this. I'm light on light ammo, dears.
You got any health? Guessing that's a no.
Frag out. Spotted an enemy over there. Spot a bot.
Fuck!
Me and you are down.
I knew that was him too, and I hesitated thinking it was a mirage.
Reloading.
Point jumping.
He missed me. Our dude took the fuck off.
he's gonna come back through. Oh, he's gonna get me.
Another squad's attacking.
He's getting me.
No, he's not.
Wow. Well, he was. Maybe next time get the teammate that's up.
Let's check out over there.
Yeah, it wasn't super helpful because I had next to nothing. I had 12 rounds of light and that ran out. And then I had to get 4 rounds of shotgun. It was not ideal.
Walter Fuse Detroit. At your bloody service.
Aw, yeah, let's booty slap.
Clips are what cities use in their hair. This is called a magazine.
You lot call yourselves heroes, eh? If you survive what I've sword, then you will be.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum,
Introducing
ba-dum,
your
bum, bum.
champion. Ace, mate. Let's see you do it again.
It's that old adage, if at first you don't succeed, try and try and try.
And try and try and try. And drink some bourbon and then try some more.
Mm.
Don't follow my head, blue light. Looking behind us. There's one right in front of us.
Best way to start the day.
Look out, grenade! It's being shot at. Taking fire. Reloading. Stand back, knuckle clusters firing. Reloading. Downed one.
One's down.
See how long this lasts.
Trying to get something that resembles a weapon. That did not happen. Coming up. Whereabouts are they?
Reloading.
Well, one's completely dead.
Ah, fuck. Good trade-off right there. Ooh, I can trade this one out too. Double good trade-off. All right, now I'm in a decent spot to actually help you guys.
Give me a sec. Shotgun bolt here. Level 2.
There was a team that went straight inside, so we got to be careful with that. Looks like Booties wants to push him.
Taking fire. Engaging. Must go faster. I'm down. No bueno. Give him a knuckle sandwich.
The Octane that's up top is really hurt.
1 minute and the ring's
Shit. Oh, you suck it.
recharging the shield. Rings close. 45 seconds on the clock. Today's coming up, eh?
Ah, whatever. Maybe our teammate shouldn't have pushed by himself.
He shouldn't have, but they were on their way out anyway.
Booty slaps didn't do so good.
That was frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
What are my daily challenges? Damage is Rampart. Alright, let's see here. Damage with an alternator. You know what we haven't done in a while, chat? Daily question. I don't even know when I last updated it. Is happiness the most important purpose in life? If not, what is it? No. If not, what is? I guess it's what is it? What is the most, whatever, important purpose in life? But let's just, is happiness the most important purpose, or is it something else? And if it's something else, what is it? What's the biggest and most important purpose in life? What do you think, Z-Dubs?
I don't know.
Professional DILF.
I'm here to pour a little petrol on the situation.
Here's hoping neither of us get the hiccups during this bonanza.
hospitality. How do you like your tragic ends? Quick or slow? This is your champion. Looking about as spry as my 80-year-old mum. That's a compliment.
Supply ship over there.
Come get some. Move it or die.
I almost think I would say contentment
Better find
should be the
me
most
before I find
important
you.
Ready?
purpose
I'm
in life.
coming for you, friend.
I mean, happiness, yes, but you can be happy. Like, happiness, I think, is kind of a fleeting moment at times. I think being content with who you are,
Let's go this way.
what you are, what you surround yourself with. I think that might be, you know, finding that balance. There's one team that's landing right there.
First blood.
There's a team up here too.
Close enough to smell the teardrops. This way, Sandra. Inside the next ring. Get ready for the Maza.
Enemy kill. Squatty down. Selfish if you ask me.
Lovely and elim-
Knuckle cluster out.
I don't have anything by way of weapons, so I'm just.
Yeah, I'm trying to grab some stuff before I go die.
Enemy here, fellas. Frag out.
Last.
That's some of the damage I need.
That's good. Oh, and I didn't even get credit for that kill.
Oh, I got two?
Or the assist.
Interesting. I'm a star, chat. Did you see that? I'm a star. Chip, use Alt up arrow to select recent messages by the by what you.
The place between life and death is where I feel most alive.
If I ever let you down, it's probably because I grew a bit tired of carrying you.
I wasn't born to be
Oh, someone blowing up my text message.
Name's Mad Maggie, and these little games of yours, they're mine now. Introducing your champion, Ace, mate. Let's see you do it again.
God, I'm the jump master again. It's just way too much pressure.
I mean, if anybody can handle that pressure, he does. It's me, but you're a close second.
Oh, you're an a-hole.
You love me and you know it.
I just love your beard
I mean, who wouldn't?
because you
Thing
look
is
like the bear from my dreams.
the Milwaukee Bear.
The man bear.
All right, this is gonna be a mess. This is gonna be a
Nah.
mess, chat. This is gonna be messy.
Hearing changes on its way.
Shit.
All right, there's a guy up there.
Yep. Oh shit, he's still there, but he's in the red. Oh,
Come on, teammate.
yep.
Wow.
I
Did a
believe
whole lot of
said.
stuff.
I said there's gonna be mischief. It might have. Did they give me enough for my challenge? I think it did. I think it did. Chat should pop up. Boom. Oh no. Oh really? 5 damage off. Come on, man. I also need 4 top 10s, dude. We need to get these top 10s so I can finish off this chaos theory. All right, what else is going on here?
Live today, die tomorrow. Better than the other way around.
Alrighty.
You lot call yourselves heroes,
Wait, is it
eh?
just us
If
again?
you survive what I got in store, then you will be.
Yeah.
So this is your champion.
Fuck.
Looking about as spry as my 80-year-old mum. That's a compliment.
Guess I'm the jump master. Knew it would fall to me eventually. Desperation.
Man, that was intense. I'm gonna go run a victory lap.
Here we go, mates. Let's get messy.
I don't know why I'm going here.
Where's here or there?
I was gonna go over there, yeah, but I'm watching that pink team and they may be going there. I don't know.
Nah, they're going further.
I'm gonna try to drop right in this hole.
Oh, right in the hole. Oh, I missed the hole.
A real game changer's on his way. All right.
I like that the ticks have weapons in them now. It's kind of cool.
Good. Inside the next ring.
Oh, it's flashing out here. Oh, it's a blue shield. Look at that.
Aren't you special?
I mean, yes.
I mean, you do need a blue shield more than I do. So.
Yeah, because somebody has to keep us alive after you go down.
Oh God.
Hemlock here. We've got a new kill leader. I love this place.
I picked up a backpack. Shit.
R301 here.
You push up there and do some fighting?
Are they fighting up here?
They were.
Let's go see. Could do without that fucking noise.
No, I was gonna say I can't hear what you're saying. All I hear is wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. Level 2.
Oop, the door's open.
Could have something good
Yep.
here.
There's a horizon right here.
G'day, enemy here.
God, I don't think I hit.
Oh, you and your fucking devote, you get stuck.
Took down an enemy.
He's dead, as you deserve.
Yep.
Grenade, heads up.
Who can play that game?
Throwing thermite. Thermite out. Throwing thermite. Tossing a grenade.
Shit, I didn't change on my weapon quick enough.
Took down an enemy.
What just happened?
I chucked a grenade just as she knocked me down. And as you guys were fighting, she kept moving further to the left. And then my grenade blew her up. It was pretty awesome. I enjoyed it at least. Definitely got my damage with that gal though. Oh wait, why do we keep jumping as two? Are we on duos? Or is it just that
I
screwed
don't
up
think
tonight?
so. I think it's just screwed up tonight.
Just like, it's like every other night, I guess. Yeah, because we're facing trios.
So this is your champion. Looking about as
Weird.
well as 80-year-old mum. That's a compliment.
I'm the jump master. Ready up.
Hazy Dubs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the jump master.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the jets. We're dropping hot.
I see two teams going to the back, one team below us. Definitely come in here.
Well, we got a split second on him.
You want to just GTFO?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna go up the portal.
Me too. That guy was shooting the shit out of me.
Okay. I'm gonna
is there
go
any-
straight down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there anybody in front?
No.
Oh,
At least I don't believe so.
yeah, things are looking closed. Probably not gonna take them long to come chase us down.
It's fine. I got a handful of grenades.
Uh,
They're here.
Clown spotted over here. Firing. Reloading. Here comes the old knuckle cluster.
There's two down there for sure.
Reloading.
One on me behind here.
Let's go this way.
Not sure exactly where, but I hear him.
Thermite away.
One down inside.
Tango down.
Okay. He's dead.
I don't know where they're at.
Oh, she's in here. Oh, she's down.
Tango down.
Was that your grenade?
Yes, sir.
That was a fucking good thermite. She's right there.
Yo, hold tight. We got your back.
Yep. No.
Wait,
look
wait,
at
wait,
you.
wait, wait, wait.
Teabag. Teabag.
You'll be all right. We got you.
Oh, I love you.
Ooh, I need that help. Ooh, I'll take that gun too. Nice. Oh, snap. Are you snipering? You are.
Yes.
Healing. Watch my back.
I was too slow on the 4x8. Got some extra shields if you need them.
Give me a sec.
Did you get all those kills? All 3?
Yeah.
Nice.
Moving.
Thanks.
Hustle up.
Sun shines on a dog's ass some days, as they say.
Ah, whatever.
You see another 4x8, if you can let me know, please.
Yeah, if you see a Spitfire you don't need, let me know.
Yeah, I do still need the damage with those guys, but yeah, you can have it. I'll get it another time. Alright, I'm gonna take a look at the map quick. Yeah, we're not in a great spot.
Okay, well, let's just go.
Want a jump tower?
Yeah, let's take the one
Or
up here.
portal? We can just go do the portal.
I mean, the jump tower's right here.
It's not right here.
Well, it's close enough. Oh, I was thinking of the respawn, sorry.
Hold on to your knickers, ladies.
New kill leader. Watch your six. Reloading.
Shit, I'm coming. Where at? Oh,
Ah, knocked him down from the jump tower. We just fuck a
Oh.
sniper.
nice. I'm coming.
Yeah, someone's attacking me.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, painless. Knocking at the door. Incoming. Reloading.
Reload.
There's another one over there, Skanzi.
Over where?
Recharging shields.
Okay. I'm gonna try to heal up if I can.
Giving him the chimney. Giving my shields a recharge.
God damn it. They're right here in front of me.
Oh,
It's a fuse. He's on me.
Lost the money. I'm spotted.
oh shit.
Oh, she's up top.
Down to target.
Fuck you,
Nice.
baby.
Circle's coming.
You kill leader appointed.
We'll be all right.
Look
All right,
at
chat. I got a little crazy on that one.
Using a Phoenix kit.
Healing.
Fuck.
Watch my back.
Dude, we are in trouble.
Yep. Well,
Pick up all the freaking health you can, because we're gonna need it. You want a jump tower? Your best bet is probably going to be to cut that way.
I'm just going straight.
Deploying a heat shield.
All right, well, we can hit this other jump tower here.
Tower over there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna make it into the shield. The issue is
Yeah, but we're still
or
inside
the
the red one.
circle.
That's the thing.
Taking
Yeah.
the news.
Well, yeah.
Catching up.
That's why I wanted to move all the way around it.
Yeah, but it should go away pretty quick, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should go away once it finishes right here. In fact, I'm just going to stop right here.
Taking
You
the
want to
news.
pop your heat shield?
Ring flare's closing. Keep moving.
Oh, fuck, that's a mobile respawn. Why didn't I have a heat shield?
And why did you have a mobile respawn?
I don't know.
Oh.
I must have picked it up and so it dropped the heat shield.
Oh, there we go. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah. Ugh. Well, that could have been better.
Oh well, shit happens.
Good. Ring flare nice and far.
Alright, I'm going to try to work on getting that backpack. Hope the backpack's still in there. It is.
I need health.
How much? What do you need?
Well, I'm gonna need syringes. I picked up a shit ton of shields, but
Here's a couple. Oh, we have 6.
Syringe here. Best in a tight spot.
Champion's dead. R.I.P. Mate.
Nice. Champions out. Meat wagon
Okay.
having one hell of a day.
As a reminder, if you see a 4x8,
I'll let you know.
Rings close, with a minute to spare.
I'm gonna head towards the edge of the circle that's not covered by fire.
I'm coming behind you. You're going like here.
Let's go this way.
Seconds on
Yeah, kinda. Just gonna see what's. Oh, that's useful. There are people here.
Zero. Rings close.
I'm not sure where.
Right on me.
Hostile. Danger close.
Fuckers came up behind me.
God damn it! Like, his shield is busted.
Got 10. Tango down.
Here comes the other one. Yep.
Suckers!
Holy Jesus.
You ain't got
What is that,
nothing for
8?
me.
Dusted the
Need to
last
get
one.
better, boys.
What's up?
I gotta talk some smack because I'm never this good.
Got a care package coming?
Care package incoming. Let's get to the LZ.
Shit.
Well, that sucks.
healing. I'll walk it off.
Putting up a heat shield.
I say we just run for it over here.
Need gear.
Yeah, I gotta heal first.
Okay.
Listen up.
Actually, that's not gonna get us where we need to go anyway.
Yeah, no, we'll cut right
Oh,
through
yeah,
here,
okay.
yes.
I'm really, really low on light ammo. Holy shit, I've got next to nothing.
I'm really low on everything.
I'm gonna go up here and take a look.
Let's go this way.
Was that a bloodhound or was that the stupid thing?
That was the thing.
Okay. A little bit of light ammo. Okay, let's start.
Coming replicated.
I need a lot more freaking ammo, man. You want to try to push down and check over here? Is that stuff open?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go that
For
way.
gear. I'll relay what I find. Shield battery here. One minute. Phoenix kid here. Patches you up good. Shield and
We
health.
got a minute, so we don't have much time to pick around here.
Yeah.
There's a Spitfire here.
Let's.
Spitfire here.
Oh my god, I need that so bad.
45 seconds. Ring ain't far.
Okay. Need to cut through the bunker.
Yeah.
3-0.
Might be the fastest. If you see any heavy ammo you don't need, let me know.
Oh.
Not too far from ring. Got 10.
Lots of light ammo in the bunker.
Oh my God, you are my savior.
Rings closing.
Ring's moving. Hustle up.
All right, so we got a little ways that we're gonna have to probably drop a shield.
Well, that's good. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Which way? Probably
We
this
could
way?
we could skirt around the far edge for some of it.
Putting up a heat shield.
Oh my god.
Oh, this one hurts a lot.
You gotta pop it.
Already did. It was back there.
Listen up.
Yep, I'm done.
All right, let me heal up and try to get in the ring. Are you moving this way?
Good. Ring flare nice and far.
I'm fading.
Shut.
Picked up our squad mate's banner. Healing. Watch my back.
Is there a thing here? No, so I need to try to find a mobile respawn. I think that's gonna happen. I don't have a fucking grenade. Are you kidding me? You have a grenade on your body?
I had probably 10 of them.
Popping the chimney. Reaching this hole. Fire in the hole. Catching up. Rings nearby. 1 minute to go.
Yeah, no respawn. I don't think they ever show up in here anyway. But shot.
45? Ring ain't far.
I hear somebody healing. Give 30 seconds. I just keep moving. They're right above you. Oh, shit. Right there. Oh, it's a mirage. Jesus Christ.
I'm spotted. Giving him the chimney. 10 seconds. Close ring.
Just gonna go in this way and find a place to hang out.
Well, I was gonna say if you go up there and then go off to the left, you might be able to third party them from up on.
I was really hoping that I could find a respawn in here, possibly.
5. Turns just whizzing
flare opening up on me.
Shit.
They're off to your right. Hear him?
Yep.
Oh. She's right there.
45. We ain't far.
The fuck she goes? All the fucking ring over there.
Two more enemy squads. Easy.
I don't know, I kind of like just chilling for a minute. Sorry, Chad, I know this isn't super exciting.
Rings moving. Run, run, run.
Inside the next ring. Ready to win.
Shit.
Final round. Chill out. It'll all be over soon.
I can take out this last squad.
Up, 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 up. They were up on the ledge. Yep, she was up there. See her?
1 minute. Heads up. Dropping the pain.
Oh, good. Oh, nice. Nice job.
I'm spotted. Top in the chimney. He's close. Easy 30.
She's getting him up.
Damn it.
No, nice try. Nice try. It was 3 on 1.
Damn.
Got our Apex champions right here. Top might fit in around silver.
Look at this guy.
That was a pretty good game. That was a pretty good game.
And then there's me.
You know what? You carry me most of the time. I'm allowed to win.
Garbage.
Apparently, I've had really good games with her before. 'Cause I didn't get a single badge.
Okay, I just want to check my challenges real quick. I need top 10s. I need 1 finisher. And I need knockdowns with a light machine gun.
I think I may jump off stream here soon. I always forget that
You-
Friday nights are.
Well, if you want to
Nice.
take a break to do that after this match,
Yeah.
then I can go get another drink.
Okay, that works.
Get my drink on.
Drink.
You know what I'm curious to try? Maybe I'll try it tonight. Dr. Pepper and bourbon.
But I'm gonna. That's a pass for me. I think.
You think?
I don't know. It might be okay.
Time to see if all those drills have
I don't know. I'll try it.
Give it a shot.
What's up, bruh?
Look at this lot.
What's up, bruh?
You don't know what you're in for.
All right, chat. This is gonna be the last one. I am gonna try to hit the instant replay at least once. I had like 8 opportunities in that last game. Didn't do it once. We're gonna try it. This is the last game of the night. See if we can do better than a second place. Doesn't leave a lot of options. And as we're wrapping it up, I'm gonna mute myself for Z-dubs. Just a reminder, I am looking to try to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I think that's the right command. No. Streams? There we go. There's the link for YouTube. So you can like, follow, and subscribe on all of them. I super appreciate that. But the YouTube one is the one I'm really pushing right now. I really want to get that custom URL. I mean, look at that garbage URL, man. Trash. Sounds like we're in a fight.
God damn it. How did she...
Alright, round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Oh my god, I'm so dumb right now.
Should head to the beacon. They're shooting at me. I'm down. Enemies right here.
Throwing thermite.
Oh shit. Alright, chat. Well, okay. Guess that was it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and deafen and I'm gonna shut things down. Z-dubs, I'll be right back. Alright, chat. There we go. That was not a first place. Thank you so much for being here, chat. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. We had a good one tonight. Long one, but it was a good one. I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of Apex. I'm gonna turn it off for the night, and I'm just gonna kind of chill, play a little bit more relaxed. I can get these lights out from shining in front of my face. And the blue one that hasn't fallen on my face yet, but I'm gonna make sure I take that down. I need to secure that thing. I got it up literally like 2 minutes before I started stream. So we're gonna get that going. I'm gonna chill a little bit. Might sneak on this weekend though. We'll see how things go. I might sneak on for a couple games. I'm not sure what we're gonna play, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. I truly, truly appreciate it. Sending all my love to all of you. I hope you have a great, great weekend. And I hope to see you this weekend if we sneak on. Otherwise, I'll see you Monday, 7 p.m. Central. Thanks, everybody. See ya. Bye-bye.